Woo! We hit the button. All right. Slightly late. Couple of issues. My microphone keeps moving of its own accord, although I think I've fixed that now. And Sparkle can't log into the email because I may have inadvertently blocked him. But we will try and fix that on the fly. Welcome to Live News for July. You've got myself, Random, and Sparkle.
Hello.
Hi guys. So I have a few things to fix in the background. But first, just before I do that, I'll tell you what I've been up to this month, and then while the others are talking, I'll fix some shit. What have I been up to since last month? Kind of a lot and kind of not a huge amount. There's some stuff I'm not ready to report back on yet that's been happening. Technical wise, I talked about... Did I talk about running Pi-hole on like a Pi 4? I think I did. I went back to Pi-hole after like a few years of not using it. Run it on a Pi 4 and it was just absolutely a waste of a Pi 4. So I've put it on a 2 and it's been absolutely fine. Load wise, just hardly even touching the specs on the Pi 2. So I did that, and I've been running it on an OS called Diet Pi, which is just kind of like a stripped out version. I think you can have a desktop on it if you want to, but I don't. It's just all command line. Very, very streamlined. It's got its own sort of, instead of Raspberry config, it's Diet Pi config. Very similar. But found that really good. So I built a Diet Pi with that. And I also built... what else did I build? Oh, did I talk about WireGuard VPN? I set that up as well. That is on a Pi 4. It's a bit beefier. And that's been fine again. Just there's only really me using it, logging in, into the house from externals. Only me really doing it. But it's been absolutely fine, performance-wise on a Pi 4. Just been not a problem at all. One thing I noticed just getting onto movies, not really been watching too much TV and movies, to be honest. We've had something of a heat wave on and off for the last month. We're still sort of in the midst of it now. Weather's just been great, so we've just been sat in the garden till late in the evening, just shooting the shit and not really coming in till late on. And we'll maybe catch a TV show or something. But I did watch Obsession, which we mentioned last month was one of these kind of low budget, Hollywood busting movies kind of thing. I enjoyed it. It's like it's pretty freaky. Few jump scares in, but it doesn't really rely on them. But yeah, just slightly odd, but interesting movie. I did enjoy that. I meant to watch Backrooms, but just like I say, haven't really been in the house long enough to get through any serious movies. I did notice, though, I forget how it came up. Maybe when I was searching IMDb, reading about another movie, Amityville Horror came up, and I noticed the real guy. Amityville's based on supposedly a true story, etc. The guy from the story is called George Lutz. I hope it's not Dirty George Lutz.
I hope it is.
Whoa. Yeah, it could be, maybe. Imagine if it was. I suspect it isn't, but yeah. Just tickle me to find that out.
Dude, it totally is.
Yeah, it has to be. TV shows. I've talked before about, movies about time travel, TV shows about time travel, just a topic that kind of interests me. I love crime dramas, a lot of old vintage stuff as well, Agatha Christie's, Sherlock Holmes's, all of that kind of stuff. Combine the two genres, and what do you get? You get Crime Traveller. A bloody awful TV show. It's a 90s British TV show. I only heard about it a few weeks ago. I did watch it. I think there's like 7 or 8 episodes. It gets good reviews, but it's pretty fucking bad. I mean, you might be interested. You might want to watch it. Basically, this woman has a time machine. She stole the what's the word? Like the diagrams for it, the model, etc. And she built it, and they travel back in time to when a crime was committed, and then come back and solve the crime. It's that simple, but it's just no one really big and famous in it. Sue Johnston's in it, but it's got to be one of her worst performances ever. Just a dumb show. I thought, oh, time travel and crime. What could go wrong? Apparently a lot. But yeah, maybe check an episode of that out. And then I discovered a Jerry Anderson show. So he was the guy, well, him and his wife Sylvia, behind like Stingray, Thunderbirds, Captain Scarlet, Joe 90, all of those. They did one called The Secret Service, which, again, it's one season, maybe 13 episodes, something like that. Definitely worth a watch. Check it out. It's a real interesting mix of like real life and puppets. I know in the Thunderbirds you get, real hands doing stuff, but this is a mix of real people and real world, and the main star of it is Stanley Unwin. Now, Random might know who that is. I don't suspect any Americans listening will.
No.
He invented a language called Unwin-ese. He's a British guy, TV actor. And he was in the film Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. He's one of the inventors in the Bavarian castle. And he just talks absolute nonsense. But he's the main star of it. And like the premise of the show is he shrinks his son so that his son will fit inside a suitcase. And then he'll go into some building or other with his suitcase. His son will get out the suitcase, go and find out what's happening, get back in the suitcase, and they go home. It's fucking mental. But yeah, I did watch a few of those, so that was pretty good. Podcasts-wise, so I've talked before on this show, one of my favourite podcasts, if not my favourite ever podcast, is No Agenda. And it's hosted by Adam Curry, who sort of invented embedding MP3s into RSS and thus invented the podcast, gave the technology to Steve Jobs. His co-host was John C. Dvorak, long time tech journalist. Well, John C. Dvorak passed away on Monday, which I'm very upset about, very sad about, because it was one of my favourite shows. It's just such a funny guy, 80 years old, so many stories, had so many different jobs over the years, met so many interesting people in the tech industry and out of it. He's going to be a big loss. So you may see that or hear about it on other podcasts. I know that he's guested on other shows and what have you. So other shows are sort of paying tribute to him. So that was a big loss this week. And finally, round to games. So I've been messing about a little bit with Batocera version 43. Came out maybe in the last month or something like that. But there's a couple of new features in there that are interesting. And it supports now Game Boy 2-player games and Game Boy Color 2-player games. So it literally gives you two Game Boy or Game Boy Color screens on screen at the same time. And it just mimics having a link cable. So you can play, multiplayer Game Boy and Game Boy Color games. Now, that works really well with something like Tetris. Maybe doesn't work as well with something like Battleships. You just see where the other guy's ships are straight away. But, yeah, really interesting feature. So I've been playing around with some Batocera stuff. Rebuilt my SD card. I have a 500 gig SD on my Steam Deck that I can boot to with Batocera. It's just so much easier for multiplayer than using the Steam OS and EmuDeck and everything. 4 controllers plug straight into the dock, and you can have some good multiplayer stuff on that. So just been playing around with that. The Computer Museum have got so they have some of our computers at Arcade Club, and we have some of their arcade machines, and they get swapped out every so often just to freshen it up a bit, or maybe some need maintenance or whatever. Robotron is back. We had it for a while, it went away, it's come back. So I've been playing a bit more Robotron arcade. And they've got an R-Type arcade, which we've talked offline in WhatsApp about a future top 10. No spoilers. But I do like to watch Gareth Welsh Gaz play R-Type. He's very good on it. So I aim to try and get a bit better at R-Type in the arcade. Well, it's at the museum, and that is me for the month.
Very nice. I'll jump in. Should be pretty quick, and then I wanna get an update which I'll lead into off mine from Sparkle. So games-wise, ended up 3-starring all of the events in Forza Horizon 6. Basically finished off everything in the main game. Finished the current sort of seasonal events that were happening, and finally put that to bed. Got back into Death Stranding 2. Only had a couple of days worth of sessions on that, but yeah, getting nicely into that again. Mostly just getting distracted, doing a load of walking around and delivering shit. I'm getting to the climax of Unicorn Overlord, which I'm playing on the Switch as my handheld game. Trying to decide what to play after that. Maybe Vampire Crawlers, but I tend to like going through RPGs, and I've been thinking about checking out Breath of Fire series or Wild Arms, or maybe even Xenogears. So don't know if anyone has any suggestions. Throw them my way. Things that I can easily pick up and put down very quickly, put it in suspend, like stir some food, do a little bit, and things like that. Nothing that I need to sort of be constantly, an action platformer like a Contra or anything is no good. And then the other gaming thing really is just messing around a bit more with the Superstation. I think I mentioned last month that I got that in and had a little bit of a play. Not so much playing one main thing on it at the moment, but sort of using it to sort of think about, all right, if I have a device that's not just all of my ROMs, how do I want to organize and curate a selection? So, sort of just for the moment, like the PlayStation, I've got all the Beatmania games and all the Dance Dance Revolution games in separate folders. But then I've separated a folder out for like racing games. And then like SNES, I'm doing like a top 20, but then also a folder of racing, a folder of platformers, and not putting everything on there, but just sort of interesting things in the sort of the main groups. So yeah, I wonder, I might keep doing like that top 20 idea of like, this is cool stuff that's definitely worth having around. But then yeah, the more exploratory stuff can go in their own genre folders. Because I don't want to be, it's not the best, Mister isn't the best thing for scrolling through thousands of ROMs. Films-wise, the only things I could remember of interest to the group is we watched Roofman, which had come up either last month or the month before. Really enjoyed that. Yeah, very amusing. And then the other day watched Masters of the Universe, which I think Butler had panned on Facebook.
Yeah.
But I was going in thinking, the worst and not expecting a lot. And, we were like, we'll put it on. And we've got 20 minutes before I have to go and like prepare dinner. So if after that 20 minutes we're not going to carry on, we'll just switch on to something else with dinner. But no, it was pretty good. There's some fun jokes in there for the adults. It's not the greatest film in the world. It's very cheesy, but it's kind of, much better than expected. And then TV, we watched Widow's Bay. I think that's since last month, which was really good. It's kind of like a halfway house between maybe Severance, Twin Peaks, and Fawlty Towers. It's in some respects. Like bumbling mayor trying to run this town, like, boost the tourism in the town, and shit's going wrong, and he's trying to corral people who are sort of half of them are against him, and but yeah, very interesting, very fun. Looking forward to seeing what they do with that for season 2. We watched Spider Noir again. I think Butler panned that. It's not excellent. There's definitely mixed quality in there. So some visual effects really good. They've clearly spent a lot of time on both the color version and the black and white version. But then there's a load of things that you can tell they just rushed it or ran out of time or budget or something, where some effects just look absolutely terrible. Things like a shot where the camera's in the back seat of a car and you're sort of, the driver and the passenger are talking, but then in the rearview mirror, you're meant to then be able to see someone in the back seat, and it just looks like someone's just sellotaped a 7-inch tablet playing a video file on there. It just looked terrible. But overall, I enjoyed that they did something a bit different with the Spider-Man sort of, franchise and story. Obviously following the same sort of themes, but yeah, just an more interesting setting than just, hey, we've gone through how many fucking films set in kind of modern day at this point. Not that great. And then after that, we have just started finally Stranger Things season 5. 3 episodes, I think, maybe 3.5 into that. So, again, it's not great. It's good. I'm not sure I agree with their decision to sort of try and make each episode really long. And whether that harms or hurts them, I haven't made my mind up. But it's good enough entertainment at the moment, and
I enjoyed the season. And ending a big long running show, huge show like that is always tough. But yeah. I just don't like where it's not just that, but a lot of shows now you go to stream it and it's on any platform. They all do the same thing. Like one episode's 40 minutes, one's an hour and 10, one's 35, one's 50. You're like, fuck off. Give me a format. I just hate it when they do that. Yeah,
that is a bit annoying. Certainly. There was something else that we were watching recently that was like that, and it was just all over the place. It was like, one day it seemed to take like 2 nights to get through it, and then the next one we watched, and it was like we'd hardly finished dinner, and it was gone, and I was like, what the fuck's happened? But yeah, it's interesting, and like I'm kind of glad to put it all to bed. But we have said we want to watch it all through again. Give it a good few years to breathe, but sort of try and watch it back to back, because I can't remember half the shit that happened.
Yeah, I rewatched 3 and 4. Well, I'd done 1 and 2 not long ago, and I did rewatch 3 and 4 before I watched 5.
Mm-hmm. And then card and board games. Last month I picked up a cheap card game that Mike likes. This month we picked up another one last week. It's called Bandido. And essentially it's a cooperative game, and you're laying out a maze but trying to find dead ends to block it off and stop a bandit escaping, and sort of had a bit of a feel of it seems to be very difficult intentionally, but sort of easy to play, but difficult to sort of win. Reminded me a bit of us playing Oregon Trail for about 3 hours and getting nowhere. Yeah, like that. And then Kickstarter board game wise, I got the big jumbo box in for Super Auto Pets. Very much looking forward to playing that, but having to save that for Christmas. That Super Auto Pets, if people haven't played it, I think it's free on mobile. If not, it was very cheap. But yeah, quite addictive. Very, very fun game to play. So speaking of Kickstarter, over to Sparkle.
You know what? I don't know when you sleep, dude, or if you have a really weird schedule or something. I feel like it was 11 o'clock at night, or something weird. You should have been sleeping. I feel like it was 4 a.m. for you or something. You sent me a Kickstarter, and I was like, you son of a bitch. So it was some kind of flashlight thing or something, titanium flashlight. I don't even know what the fuck it was. And I was just pledge support, And I was like, God damn you, I'm a fucking Kickstarter addict. So I went ahead and just ordered it. I don't know. I think it was $80 or something. So who knows what I even fucking ordered, because it was I was in twilight, kind of semi-asleep at 11 o'clock at night or something. But I do actually have an update. So
here we go.
Yeah, man.
What everyone's tuned in for.
Backer number 35024 for the Epic Folding Spoon Kickstarter. So I went on there and I was I raged out one day and I was I'm gonna who else wants to join me for a class action lawsuit? It only takes 3. These motherfuckers at Polygon Spoons, I want to kill them. And a bunch of people were like, yeah, let's go. And then mysteriously, the backer was like, hey man, like, yeah, like we got spoons, man. But the problem is that the vampire red that you ordered, like we don't have that, but we have all these other colors and stuff. So really sorry for the delay. We can get you something. And I'm like, wow, okay. Um, so let me just kind of read it. We understand that the way that you felt, came across our store where they're selling these things online. Um, we started our store account for increasing production and minimizing our costs, and have nearly doubled our initial order since you're backing. Due to lack of funding and delivery to our backers, there's no other options, so we had to start selling directly through our store. We're currently dispatching orders to our backers as fast as we can. Fingers crossed, you should have received your polygons before Christmas, but we're facing certain challenges regarding the batch. But if you're interested in another color, we can get that to you. We just simply can't offer our backers defective products. So we hope you understand the current delays. But here's some additional colors. And I was like, hey, it's been 10 years since I backed this product. I've still not received anything. And they're like, you know what? Fulfillment is within hand. The fact that we don't have any of the Hell's Kitchen Vampire Red in production is the color you picked, but we have these other colors. So pick maroon, blue, black, green, white, purple, pink, yellow. And I'm like, I responded back, I really don't care. Just pick a color for me and send it. I prefer black, but anything at this point is awesome.
Something spoon shaped.
They're like, hey, Sparkle, can you confirm your address? And they give me my name and my address. And I'm like, that's it. Perfect. And that was June 30th. And July 13th, I followed up, hey, just following up to see if the product's been shipped. Nothing. Followed up 3 days again later. Good evening, sir. Can you please send me the tracking update? I really don't care what color you send me at this point. Nothing. 7 days ago, July 17th, following up on my spoon order. Again, I really don't care what color. You have my address correct. Can you please provide an update on shipping? No answer. So I feel like it's a little bit of a rub and tug tease, and they're just not willing to finish me off at this point. So we'll see. I'm going to keep everybody updated on the Kickstarter, but woo! Alrighty, month in news time. So here's what I've been up to this month. On the movie side, I did watch Ready or Not 2, and man, I thought it was terrible compared to the original. The first one worked because it was like a perfect balance of like comedy and tension and like violence, and there was like kind of a real sense of like, fuck, these rich lunatics might actually kill her kind of thing. The sequel went like too hard into the comedy angle, in my opinion, and kind of lost a lot of that sense of terror. They kind of had like goofy, expanded families and stuff like that. And I don't want to ruin it, but
they had to, because in the first one, all the family died.
Yeah, but it felt like louder and dumber and just less scary for me. I don't know. It was a big step down. Like, and the ladies in my family, they thought it was great. They enjoyed it. We watched it, the four of us, and they're like, oh, it was good, and I just, as a connoisseur of the horror, I felt it was like big step down in my opinion. But also on the movie side, I saw Backrooms, saw Obsession, saw both those in the theaters. Backrooms, man, I liked Obsession. I don't think I talked about that. I think I missed the last news. Obsession was good. It has like it was unique. It was, small budget and everything. It was kind of a slower movie, but it had some like hilarious parts, like where there's one point where our characters like getting their face banged into a steering wheel and stuff, and I was just like laughing my ass off in the theater. I'm like, that's fucking hilarious. Backrooms really had a sense of dread and terror. It was like just refreshing to me. Really like that one. Highly recommend. Saw the Odyssey, a lot of it was my birthday last weekend. My older daughter kind of got tickets for us and took me to that. Um, I just kind of say it's meh, like I wanted to really like it, and I was like okay with some of the additional characters, and like I know that Elliot Page is going to be kind of controversial for some people, and like I didn't think he was terrible, to be honest. Um, it just kind of felt like a long, slow movie, but like hurried at times. There's scenes, as they kind of jump around, like with the giants and stuff, where it feels like they rush through it, and there's other scenes where it feels like really slow. I thought some of the casting was odd with John Leguizamo. Was kind of out of place for me. I thought Robert Patterson was pretty good. Um, some of it was just kind of strange. I don't know. I just kind of say like a mid-level movie. I don't really feel like I need to see it again. There were some really cool moments and stuff, but it just, I don't know. It just didn't really land with me. I saw a post from Elon Musk that he's gonna redo it with Grok AI and make it,
Yeah.
like, appropriate for the era.
I read he was going to give Mel Gibson 100 million to do it, to remake the whole movie.
I mean, even like it was kind of weird. Like there was like a Indian fellow that was kind of like his right hand man, and like I didn't even really care that guy was like Indian or whatever. He was like, we're Greeks or whatever, and like you're like, dude, you're definitely not from Greece. But I didn't really care that it was like a dude from India, other than it's like his acting just wasn't great. Like he just felt kind of wooden, or he just didn't really do it for me, and like there's a couple choices like that where I just felt they they didn't bring the energy to the role. Especially Penelope. I mean, she was terrible. She Odysseus's wife. And I'm blanking on her name right now, but I mean, she was fucking awful. There was a couple, like it was just like big name actors. You're like, man, like what's going on here? So I don't know, like mid movie, like it's fine, and like you should probably watch it if you're into this kind of shit. You're listening to this podcast, but your mileage may vary. You may like it a little bit more than me. You might find it not your cup of tea. I think it's just kind of solidly as a 5.
It gets 8.5 on IMDb. The actress is Anne Hathaway, but
Anne Hathaway.
It's a watch at home for me. That I think it's everything I've seen pans it. But I mean, 8.5. Yeah, maybe.
Buddy
give it
of
a
mine
go.
lives in Atlanta, and they have like a 70 millimeter IMAX theater, and like I probably would have loved to see it like that, just for the full like melt your retinas kind of thing. But from like, man, I didn't hate it, and again, like I didn't really hate some of the like, oh, like Helena Troy is black, and there was like some of the internet was on fire about it, and like she has such a small part, and it was just, here my biggest gripe about it, and I actually read the Odyssey. I had to do classic Greek literature, and I had to read the whole thing, and the poem actually does jump around. So it starts off with him with Calypso, and he's like confused and everything. So I feel like this movie would have really benefited from a linear progression, because it's like my daughter that took me to it, she's like, we got out of there and she's like, I have no idea what the fuck just happened. What? Like, and like they do that in Pulp Fiction, some other movies where like they jump around in time and everything. And I realized the original poem was written where he's like, it's a flashback and another flashback, and he's flashing back to Troy, and you kind of realize what's happening. But I think that they should have not stuck to the source material in this case, and they should have just made it more of a linear progression, and it would have honestly, in my opinion, benefited the movie. But beyond that, for TV, been watching it actually while I was watching the movie. It was on a Sunday, last Sunday, and the whole time I'm sitting there, fuck, I can't wait to get home to watch House of Dragon. Um, I really enjoy House of Dragon, and to me, it's just a great reminder that if your family group feels fucking toxic to you, just remember that they're not actively trying to steal your dragon or murder your nephew. So it's okay. You can have a shitty family, and it's not nearly as bad as House of Dragon. Um, YouTube, I'm gonna throw out a little recommendation there. There's like some fucking weirdo that I've been watching. It somehow showed up on my feed, and it's called Reserved Investment, and it's like the nerdiest dude ever. Maybe we'll try to get him for a fucking interview or something. But he talks about collectibles, market bubbles, like antiques, comics, games, watches, general psychology of people investing in these things. Um, he's like the nerdiest dude, but like I don't know. It's like it's kind of it's caught my attention. Gaming wise, been bouncing around quite a bit. Been playing Rolling Thunder. Still kind of stylish and cool. I talked about doing Rolling Thunder 2, the arcade one, and now I've gone back to the original. And I just feel like it's like another one of those games just wants to eat your lunch money, but I'm trying to get through it. Picked up Dead Space on a Steam sale. We'll probably get into physical versus digital games here in a little bit, but the only thing it was like $3 or something, and it looks great on my PC, but it just I can't adjust the field of vision, and I've said this many times. I'm somebody kind of gets sick if we don't have like a 170 field of vision on a third party game kind of thing. So it's giving me a little anxiety. Feeling kind of repetitive, going back to it's been a long time, but on the handheld, been playing the original Legend of Zelda, which is still amazing. um, it's just a reminder that it's like one of the best starts of a game. Here's a stored, good luck, idiot, go kill shit. On the volleyball front, my daughter won a qualifier, which is cool, so we can qualify to go to Clearwater, Florida in November. So big congrats to her. I've been playing a lot myself, and went on a whitewater trip with some friends this month, and I think I tore my adductor muscle, which is like the inside of your thigh. I don't know if have you guys done whitewater rafting before?
Yeah, I used to have a kayak.
Long time ago, but yeah.
Dude, this is on like the U.S. Whitewater Training Center, and like you have to like tuck your foot under like the lip of the boat, and I had to like hold my weight in, and we were like about to flip over. I'm trying to pull my full body weight up with like the inside of my thigh, and a guy from across the boat came flying into me, and like it was hard to walk for like 2 fucking days. So I'm just like getting old, man, or something. I don't know. It's like a medical subplot to my outdoor activities, but my city volleyball team that I'm in, we're in the playoffs. We're one of the best teams in my city, which is kind of cool, but I'm not sure if I'll be able to make it right now for Monday. So, classic middle-age athlete calculations. Can I fucking move tomorrow or something? I don't know. See, little garden update. Made some fresh salsa, which was cool. Grew most of the stuff myself. So tomato, cilantro, jalapenos, and also highly recommend, if you've not done this before, put in a little cucumber into your salsa, man. It's pretty good. You don't want the seeds and shit, but just a little cucumber can kind of lift it up. Sounds weird, but it works. I think they do that in Mexico. I don't know. Also, for your firearm enthusiast, picked up a Jawbone 9mm, which is pretty cool. Haven't taken that out to the range yet, but I'm going to do that. And also got to see AC motherfucking DC, which was badass. They opened up their world tour in Charlotte, North Carolina, so I got to see that. Man, they came out on fire, fucking doing the duck walk and shit. Like dude's 71 years old. It was just badass. Man, it was so good. Just a great fucking show, and I've got to the age where I realized most of the bands I want to see are dead or retired at this point, which is kind of sad. And like trying to figure out whatever other bands are out there that I really want to see or need to see. And I had tickets a couple years ago to go see Aerosmith. I'd never seen them. And then that's when Steven Tyler blew his voice out and said he was going to come back the following year, and then just, decided to hang it up. So unfortunately, Aerosmith is kind of the one box I can't check, but I mean, I've seen pretty much everybody else. So checking AC/DC off was definitely badass. They sound amazing. I realize the one young brother is deceased now, but it was still really good. So if AC/DC's coming to your town, check them out. Quick update: fucking t-shirts at the concert are now $60 for a goddamn t-shirt, which is ridiculous. Yeah, man. I went there and like my kids, I'm like, yo, like pick out a t-shirt, and they're like, not really that cool. I was like, fuck it, I'm getting one. So I got one anyway, and yeah, that's news for me.
Just jumping back to the you mentioned whitewater rafting. I used to work with a guy. He had dual English and Canadian citizenship. And every year he'd go back to see his Canadian family. And
isn't that like automatic? Because they're like
no.
Don't you own them or something?
No, they're part of the. Is it the Commonwealth? They're part of, I think.
Yeah, Commonwealth or some shit.
But no, you don't get citizenship. It's to do with his grandparents or whatever. So every year he'd go back, and his wife would take him and like I don't know 4 or 5 of his friends out, drop them off. At the top of a river with supplies and tents and boats and stuff. And then, like, 2 weeks later, go pick them up, like, at the bottom of the river. They'd just spend, like, 2 weeks just rafting down the river, camping and fucking about. And used to do that every year. I forgot last weekend as well, we went on a trip. We went to the Lake District and did a bit of wild swimming, which I do enjoy. And I've got books and books on the topic, and there's a particular lake up there called Wastwater, and I was reading about it before we went. I'm thinking that's the one I want to do. It's supposed to be like, it's really clear, but it's really deep and it's really cold. And this book's saying, oh, you'll struggle to get into the water, and when you do, it's like a shot through your heart. It's the coldest lake ever. But like, we've been in a heat wave, and I just walked in. It was just like a tepid bath. It was like, it was just literally just walked in and swam away. I'm like, fuck, that was fine.
Right, try Ullswater naked in the middle of November.
Yeah, that's probably going to be a different experience.
Yeah.
This sounds like one of those fucking lakes in the UK where like, some kind of like prehistoric fucking animals like
just fucking eat your ass. Yeah. He's gone. Where'd he go? You also so you mentioned something there. We might as well get straight into it. We don't want to get too deep into it, but it is a really important story this month. We are going to
Why don't we want to get deep into it?
Well, because we're going to do a segment on it, and we kind of want all 4 of us on it. Obviously, Scott has got some very strong opinions on it. We'd kind of go from one extreme to the other, random, probably the biggest purchaser of digital-only games or digital copies of games on the show. Maybe Sparkle as well. I bought a few, but it always comes with a caveat. I don't put too much money into it. Do I care if I can play that game again in a year? No. I don't buy sort of brand new big titles that way. But there's a few people submitted it. Charlie sent it in. I sent it in. Peter Gibbs sent it in with the subject, the most popular news article this month. And it is, of course, Sony deciding not to produce physical media in the future. They say, well, our research says it's fine. Gamers aren't really bothered. A lot of reaction to it suggests otherwise. So, briefly, thoughts on it before, like I say, we will do a segment on it. My thoughts, kind of briefly is, I much prefer physical games. I don't tend to buy brand new big budget games. I don't own. the newest console I owned was a PS3. I sold that because I never played it. Not interested in PS4/PS5, those kind of games. I just don't buy and play big budget games like that. So kind of doesn't affect me too much, but things like Steam, I will buy digital games on Steam. But like I said, it'll be little playable games. Like one I talked about last month, and I think Random picked it up while we were recording, was Shapes, spelt with a Z at the end. 89 pence. I mean, it's a no-brainer. It's a super time waster. Will I play it again in 2 or 3 years' time? Probably not. Do I care if I can? No, it's 89p and it's gone, you know. I won't spend... I bought the Tomb Raider 1 to 3 remasters and 4 to 6 remasters. I think I paid no more than £14 for, you know, each of them. Got them on offer. That, you know, that's kind of impulse purchase, throwaway money for me. So I didn't mind buying that. You know, Steam always say, oh, we'll give you the keys should we go away. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. I'm willing to throw that money away just to play the remasters of those games and the DLC. So that's kind of where I sit on it. It really doesn't affect me that much, but I don't think the game industry should go that way.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to get into it too much, but I'm kind of similar. Like modern games, like none of them, like I've really enjoyed like some of it, but they're not hugely. So it's like the Switch is good because, well, I mean, game key cards is a whole problem. But there are still a bunch of games that are cartridge. You know, you can get fully on cartridge on Switch, and that's nice, and I will get them. Unless it's something that's like something that we're gonna keep in there, like we don't want to be swapping back cartridges back and forth. You know, if it makes sense for a convenience factor, we might get it digitally. But generally, like modern stuff, like the PS5, I've always been like, well, maybe at some point I'll get it if there's enough games, which turned into, all right, it's looking like there's not enough games. Maybe I'll get one sort of pre-owned at some point. But then still we're 7 years into that generation and there's 2 games that I'm somewhat interested in playing, neither of which I'd be bothered about keeping, like, you know. And then so much stuff these days as well. I don't necessarily have time to care about playing stuff, but like modern stuff like Indiana Jones, I was really happy that they sort of did that, took a punt on it, did something different. But I always knew that that was never something that I would go back to. I'll play through it once and I'll be happy with that. And so playing it on Game Pass was fine. I don't need to necessarily own it. But I do like older stuff, like, and having collections of that. But then so much of that's very emulatable, very easy to get hold of. So, you know, there's that side of it. PC's a very different side of things, though, because you've got different marketplaces. And so there's price competition. GOG will give you you can get DRM-free installers right now. And even Steam stuff, you know, it gets cracked and it gets archived. The PlayStation and side of it means you're kind of fucked because they are now the de facto only place to buy their games. So they're setting the prices. And there's PS5 emulators are starting to fire up. Don't really play commercial games yet, but you know, how easy is it going to be for people to archive the digital packages and decrypt them and have them workable on emulators in the future? I don't know, but that's basically the only way I'm ever going to play half of that shit now, because I'm not buying expensive consoles and expensive games for like 1 or 2 games that I will play through once and never again.
Oh man, I don't want to go too deep on this because, like I said, like UK said, we're gonna do a deep dive. But I don't know. I'm gonna talk outside of both sides of my mouth a little bit because you know, I got the Anbernic and I've done some. I got a big hard drive that I ordered that has all kinds of digital stuff on it. Do I own that? I don't know. I'm not against convenience. Like I got a bazillion games on my iPhone, right? Every single game that I've ever bought on my iPhone or iPad is digital. And downloading a game is easy. I mean, you sit on your couch, you push a button, you give them your card, there it is. No driving, no parking, no weird guy behind the counter, no worrying whether or not they have it, no digging through a bin that smells like old carpet and piss. But that's also kind of what we're losing, right? So the physical games are not just about like the plastic box. Uh, it's it's kind of part of the culture. That like there's a hunt, there's a Saturday morning trip to a swap meet or a game shop. There's a queue to go get the latest console or something. You're walking up with 25 bucks in your pocket, no plan. You're just flipping through cases, trying to find something cool, asking the weird guy behind the counter if it's any good, buying something. I mean, there's an experience there, and I think that matters to the hobby. Um, Digital only future kind of turns games into invisible licenses inside of a menu, and you hope that there's no box, there's no manual. You just hope that they're lending a game to you in perpetuity, kind of thing. But there's no lending it to your buddy. Um, in a strange way, I think that's why we've all kind of gone down the slippery slope of PC gaming, where a lot of this. I have games on my Mac, and we recently got a PC for the first time ever. But there's no box, there's no games. It's just downloads, and everybody's kind of accepted that. I'd say since probably like the late 2000 aughts, you can't go into a store, you'll never see like big section of PC games like there once was. I mean, there was entire fucking stores dedicated to PC games, and not anymore. Like nobody's doing that. It's all the PC gaming has kind of died, and I hate a world where that's going to happen with console stuff, because it very well could, where it's just like it's the end. We draw a line in the sand, and maybe people decide to spend their money with somebody like Nintendo that's still putting out cartridges, or another system or something like that. But I don't like it, man. I've always bought the disc version of consoles for the last two systems where they had a digital only, and quite honestly, like the other thing is like there's not enough goddamn space. Like you download these massive ass games, the console comes out with like 1 terabyte drive. You could barely fit shit on it, and you're doing this shuffle where you can only keep 5-6 games on a system at once. Memory prices have spiked and everything, so it's just a weird. I think it's a bad decision. I signed. There's a protest form out there that you can sign. And it's change.org or something like that. I signed it. There's like a bazillion signatures at this point. I don't think that I'll support PlayStation 6. I've had every single PlayStation console to this point. That this is the hobby, this is the culture. If we lose physical games, we don't just lose the plastic. We kind of lose the game shop, the hunt, the community, and a big part of it going forward. So to me, I won't be supporting PlayStation 6. Is like I might as well just play shit on my fucking computer. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm at. I think there's a line between console and PC where there's a collectability with the console thing, and there's something cool with like the controllers and the experience where you plug it in, you blow off the cartridge, or you wipe off the disc or something, you put it in, you have a little bit of a tactile thing, where the PC gaming, like I don't know, like I know Scott's into it, some people buy like the old Amiga shit, but like I just feel like there was a deviance and a departure at some point where PC, everybody kind of accepted the digital world, and like that's okay. But for consoles, it's a different thing, and I feel like there's a collectability angle, and I'm not going to support something that's digital only for consoles. So I'll save the rest for our long form discussion.
We will, just touching on the same subject and part of the problem. Peter Gibbs sent another new definition of purchased. We've covered the story before. I don't know if it's the same license or a new one, but Sony had a license with a media company to have their films on the platform, so you could go and buy it, have it on your PlayStation account. That license ended with Sony and the company, and so they took away movies that you've purchased, so you've no access to those movies again.
That was new. That was like 2 days after they said we're not doing any digital, we're not doing discs anymore. Oh, by the way, your digital library's up for ransom. Yeah, great. Thanks.
So I mean, you know, a lot of you guys know that I collect the old 50s golden age pre-code horror comic books, Tales from the Crypt. There was a HBO series for a long time on HBO, Tales from the Crypt. Ran into some kind of like weird, you know, licensing or something happened. You cannot find that shit. Like, unless you have the DVDs, you are not watching Tales from the Crypt. Like, it is gone. It is erased from existence. Man, like, that thing was out for like 10 or 11 years. I mean, it was a huge show with the Crypt Keeper. I mean, guys, most of you listen to this remember Tales from the Crypt. You cannot fucking watch that shit digitally. Like, gone. Disappeared. Crazy.
Yeah. I might be getting mixed up with, was there another called Creep Show? It might be the same character I'm thinking of, like a skeletal guy presenting the show, and then you see.
Nah, that's definitely Tales from the Crypt.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, just while we're on movies and that kind of stuff, in our Discord, if you're not there, you should be, because you will have missed something in there. Gareth Hamer's just said it in YouTube chat there. If you have a Raspberry Pi, check out something called 240-MP, which is like a front end for your Raspberry Pi, and it makes your media center kind of thing look like an old VCR. So you've got the big old funky text on there, the big old buttons. It looked pretty neat. He had, was it a video he had in Discord or just stills? I forget.
I remember.
Yeah, check out 240-MP and get in the Discord. Did you manage to log into Mail, Sparkle?
Nope.
Oh, I just figured out it wasn't the IP block because it's a different domain. So, while we're just talking about that, the RGR site got hammered again, and it's happened a couple of months ago, and it's happened again this month. We chewed through 2 terabytes of data, not disk storage, just streamed and downloaded data, and it's AI bots just harvesting everything from the site. They keep coming along, and like within a couple of days, like 600 gigs gone, and then I'm like fighting a losing battle to stop them all before the site goes down, because the host has like, we're using 2 terabytes, and that's just one website on a server with lots of websites. So they're reluctant to give us more than 2 terabytes, which I completely understand. But it may be, although I hate the idea and I hate it when it happens to me, it may be that when you click on the website in future, it's going to say, oh, this is Cloudflare. Are you a real person or are you not? And you've got to tick a box. If it happens, I'm sorry, but the real world on the internet now is if you've got a website with lots of shit on it, AI bots come along, go through all of it repeatedly and use up all your bandwidth. That's just the shitty AI world we live in. Until the bubble bursts, that's what we're faced with. So, unfortunately...
Elon says he wants to bring SoCal back, and Grok's the only way to do it.
Yeah, he's harvesting Grok, and he's going to build an AI with SoCal. So, that may happen to the site. Apologies for that, but it's better than it being down, which it is right now. Speaking of AI used correctly according to Gareth Hamer, and this is a YouTube video which I did watch. It's showing the old Codemasters game, BMX Simulator, and he's taught an AI how to play the game sort of thing. He's got just tons and tons of players on there, and I think we've kind of touched on this before, like if you had like AI Formula 1, like either each car would go around the track super quickly and, you know, nothing could catch or overtake them, or they'd all get to the first corner and just stop dead, not knowing what to do. And that's kind of what happens initially in this thing, but they do kind of figure it out.
That is what happened with the test races for Robo Race that never really went anywhere. It's like it's bad enough a Formula E race anyway, where humans all just pile into a tight hairpin and then just have to stop. Yeah. But yeah, the AI just hadn't figured it out at all. So having that as a self-driving test learning bed, didn't really pan out at all, did it?
No.
Something that does pan out though is Charlie sent this in, and David Gyrick, and this is a mod for ROM. What's the word I'm thinking of? ROM hack for Earthbound 1 that ports it over to the the Mother 1, sorry, that ports it over to the Earthbound 16-bit engine. So it's the NES one that has come out kind of semi-officially as Earthbound Beginnings on Wii U Virtual Console first, I think, and then Nintendo sort of acknowledged it. That's then been made into the 16-bit engine, so it looks a bit nicer. It's a bit easier to play. So yeah, if you're into that series, you can check that shit out.
So I will update that link for you, Sparkle, as we go, and you can keep track of links and what we've talked about. I don't know why you can't log into the site. Maybe you're just retarded, I don't know.
Have you got a browser with a built-in VPN that you can try?
Yeah. Brave has, but you got to pay. Firefox has got a free one.
Firefox has, yeah.
I don't think it will be IP related, but
worse
knows? Things have happened. Charlie sends one in here. Users cry foul after AMD stripped memory crypto from its consumer CPUs. I think it was this story where they changed their mind after a lot of kickbacks and then put it back in. I read some of the detail, didn't fully understand it, and bypassed it. But I think that happened. Oh yes. Because Charlie again, how many days later does it say? The 5 days later, AMD will reinstate memory encryption on Ryzen 9000 CPUs through a BIOS update in July. After, in quotes, valuable community feedback. I wonder if that comprised of people saying, "You bunch of cunts."
Maybe.
I got one. Let's see. Jersey Jack Pinball revealed that their 12th release, the Steve Ritchie designed Sonic the Hedgehog. So those of you who don't know, Steve Ritchie was also the original voice of Shao Kahn in Mortal Kombat. Early in his career, he did a bunch of games for Williams and stuff like that. But looks like he's designed Sonic the Hedgehog based on the popular video game series Sonic the Hedgehog. You're going to battle mad scientist Dr. Eggman and the Robot Army. Looks pretty good, like big back video screen and stuff like that. Steve Ritchie games are always really fun. Looking forward to playing this one. Kind of odd, Sega used to make their own games. There's a version with a topper and stuff like that. What do you guys think? Looking forward to playing this one?
I will give it a go. I'm not the biggest Sonic fan, but I do like some Steve Ritchie games. He is one of probably the best pinball designers, maybe one of the best well-known as well. So, yeah, I will definitely give it a go. Hopefully they get one at Arcade Club, which seems to be where I play most of the newer pinballs these days. Blackpool, they tend to have one or two, but Arcade Club do tend to get some.
Just a couple of Steve Ritchie games. So Flash, Firepower, Black Knight, F-14 Tomcat, roller games.
AC/DC.
Yeah. Terminator 2, Getaway,
High Speed.
Led Zeppelin, Star Wars, Game of Thrones, Spider-Man, Elvis, T3. So tons of amazing games.
Yeah,
Yep,
it's
good stuff
T1
in
and
there. And,
T2.
like, Sonic does make an obvious sort of fit as an IP for pinball.
Yeah,
man.
Plenty of iconic music and sound effects. You know, obviously there's a lot of pinball imagery and items already in Sonic. So
yeah, there's like a magnetic loop, I think, in there, isn't there, as well?
Yeah.
With the ball spinning round and round. Looks good.
It looks badass. Looks good.
something that's not maybe so badass. Gareth Hamer sent this in, and this was a report that the UK government since 2024 has been paying employees to play GTA Online with people to understand about their lived experience and how observing their in-game interactions and things. The idea of the project was to learn impactful insights about people's lived experience in an emotionally safe place. And then it sort of goes on about it. It doesn't say sort of, how many people are involved, how much money, taxpayer money has been spent on this, but there's a lot of like, the Tories are outraged and saying, "Oh, this is terrible that Labour have allowed this," and then the Labour is just saying, "Well, this is a decades-old Tory initiative that they started," and so yes, all a bit of nonsense. I mean, I'm sure it's not the biggest waste of money that the UK government has done or is currently doing, but
no, probably not.
Yeah, doesn't seem the best. Maybe it seems more of like you'd maybe give a grant to a university to sort of run this study rather than run it internally.
Yeah. David Gyrick sends an interesting one. Sega sets a new goal. Yosuke Okanari wants to make all 4,500 Sega games playable on modern platforms. I'm not sure how he intends to do it. Is it going to be probably emulation for the vast majority of it? Certainly the older stuff anyway. Well, most of the Sega games are older stuff, I guess. But will he pull it off? I don't know. I mean, Nintendo do it in dribs and drabs on their store with their old library. Who knows? I mean, it's certainly doable. Take a lot of time. And there is some great games in the back catalogue, so why not give it a go?
I mean, ironically, like, probably I'd say 4,000 Sega games are already playable on, like, something like the Steam Deck.
Yeah.
They're just not making any money from it.
That's it, yeah. Yeah, the key word is he wants to make them playable and sell them.
Yes. Being controlled.
Got one here, which already closed, but it's the Commodore 64, Birth of a Cultural Icon, a documentary that explores the success of the iconic C64 computer. Goal of 73,000, made 167,000. UK Mike, get on this shit, bro. You need to make some loot. So it looks like
the same people who did Bedrooms to Billions, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, I think
Nicola Caulfield and Anthony Caulfield.
That's the one. Yeah.
Yep, that's the one from London, UK. So kind of cool. I'm, glad to see that. Holy shit, they're putting out in physical media, so you can get a Blu-ray and keep that. You don't have to worry about downloading it. So looks like a good job. I'm sure most of us will watch this at some point. These guys do good work, so congratulations to you, people.
Yeah, kind of weird relationship with the Caulfields, really. They did Bedrooms to Billions. They did like 3 of those, but by their own admission, like well. For the first one, they did like 3 separate crowdfundings, which got a few people, a bit suspicious. Then the film came out, and it was good. Well, I'd say it's better than good, actually. It was very good. And then they did a second one, but a lot of it was, remaining existing footage that got cut from the first, and they did another crowdfund for that. Okay, it takes time and money to edit. And a lot of people thought, oh, these are a pair of grifters, but to be fair, they've put out some great films since then, and they do come to expos. They do support the scene. They do. I mean, they were at the last Zap Expo. They may even be at Crash. coming up in a few months' time. So they do, take part in and support the scene still. So I think they've kind of answered those critics who levelled those criticisms at them. One of whom was me. So
Yo, whoa,
yeah.
Got one here that when I sent in, I said coming soon, but I'm pretty sure it's already made its way onto market. And I think I've seen some reviews saying, unsurprisingly, the controls are a little bit awkward to play, as are a lot of these things. But this is the Heidi's AP30, and it's primarily an MP3 player. I mean, it's think of it as an MP3 player. It is capable of playing, all sorts of, modern lossless formats and everything, with decent audio quality. But they've put a little D-pad and a start, select, B and A on it for controls, and I've actually put some games on there. Of the built-in games, not so great. I think there's a Tetris clone that's kind of regarded as one of the better ones. With all the really, really tiny emulator devices we've seen like this, unfortunately, the gameplay isn't ideal with the buttons. But it might be good if you commute a lot, you listen to music. You've got an MP3 player that you can listen to music on, and then when you're standing around or sat on a train, you could have a little bash of a game, and it's probably likely that it will get custom firmware at some point. So it might actually just have a general purpose emulation system on it. But I mean, I think it does look very, very neat. I have already music players that are this sort of size, that do. I mean, their batteries aren't going to live forever, but for now they're doing what they need to do. So, yeah, I like it.
One thing I don't like, sent in by Dave Lanky, whoever she is Sega re-releasing the original Sonic games on $100 cartridges. What the fuck?
Brilliant.
Why? And are these like Genesis cartridges again? Are you rebuying a Genesis cartridge, or is it for...
Yep.
Wow.
But they're in transparent plastic.
Well then. Well, different colours.
Yeah. It's all about the shells. It's just different colour shells. Once you've done that.
That's just dumb. Don't like it. Don't want it.
Got one here.
I'm all for physical media, but come on. Don't take the piss, guys.
Yeah, come on.
Got something even a little bit more physical. Let's get physical. It's the Metal Slug 30th anniversary board game. Now, I'm just gonna say I don't know if this is a crock of shit or like the scammiest of scammies, and I hope this is a real thing, but this is actually posted on a site called GameFound.com, and it's being ran by Pix and Love Games.
I've heard that name before.
I've heard both. Yeah, both of those names.
Okay, it's a pre-launch page, which is wild. So it's gonna be an official tabletop board game, staying true to the iconic run and gun game DNA. And this is like an official 30th anniversary pre-launch game. So it's a pre-launch before the Kickstarter or crowdfunding. I don't understand. So I don't know. I'm not saying it's scammy, but it seems weird. It's like kind of we're a little bit further out. All they have is like what looks like box art right now, and AI guys. So I hope this is cool. This seems like something that Scott Schreiber would certainly get behind.
I'm interested at the concept of faithful run and gun action in a board game. Not entirely sure how that kind of works.
I mean, you know, like maybe they come up with something really cool. There's some great board games out there. I mean, hell, the Oregon Trail board game's fun. There's a bunch of great board games out there. Maybe it's something fast paced with cards where you're, you know, flipping them down. Like, you know, I don't know, but
I played
There-
one at
I mean-
the board game club in the mill, and it was zombie related. I can't remember what the name of the game was, but there was a stage in it where, like, you're trying to survive and be stealthy and stay away from the zombies, and you can choose like to help each other or just make
The
a run
zombie
for it
side.
kind of thing. I can't remember. I'll Google image some stuff in a minute, see if I can find it. But there was a part in there where you had no option because you didn't have the right cards or pieces to do anything else. You just had to flee. And the way the mechanic worked was pretty good. You know, you had to run away from these zombies who were chasing you. And it kind of really brought it across pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, there was the turn-based tactics Metal Slug a couple of years ago that worked quite well. So I guess you could base it around that sort of thing as well.
I'll just say this: pixandlove.com. When I try going to it, the website fails for me. I don't know if you guys can try it, but it seems like they have like.
Seems like your internet's broken, dude.
Yeah.
Can you get there? Can you try it?
What is it? Pix and Love. How do you spell it? Oh, there'll be a
Pix-
link here, won't there?
Or just search up Pix and Love games. Like
Pix and Love.
I'm on Game
Smart Frog
Found.
23. Yeah, Metal Slug. I've got the Pix and Love page up. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm
If you
there.
put your parental controls on.
Yeah,
again.
your internet's fucked, dude.
yeah, my internet's fucked. Sounds like it.
Yeah. It wasn't
Laptop.
Zombicide random. Just doing a quick Google
Okay.
search of the box. I can maybe have a look, but we got shit to do. So let's do some of that
Oh,
shit.
yeah.
Gareth
All right.
Hamer sent one in here. An artist attaches a Game Boy camera to a space telescope, takes a picture of Jupiter and prints it on a Game Boy printer. He can do that shit, and he did do that shit. The picture
Wow.
looks shit, but hey, it
It's
was always
art, man.
going to. Yeah, it's art. I'm an artist, dude. Deal with it.
Another one from Gareth Hamer. This is consumer DRAM shortages extend to DDR2 products with contract prices expected to rise. Like, what the? They're not still making DDR2, are they? Seriously? I guess. I mean, there's probably systems in like nuclear facilities that are still using old technology that do need some amount of spare parts. But yeah, that's just nuts that everything's just getting fucked because everyone's making HBM instead of anything else. Oh dear. Mind.
I did have a Walking Dead game that James Easton's friend designed and got published. That was pretty good. I think I played it a couple of times and gave it. I think Adi maybe has it, but yeah, that was good.
Cool.
One here again from Gareth Hamer. The game formerly known as Operation Flashpoint is getting a remaster, while the developer Bohemia Interactive has released its engine source code. I haven't played it. The original game, I mean, Operation Flashpoint, looks like FPS, is it? But it's getting a remake. Gareth Hamer, again, has smashed it this month, as has Peter Gibbs and David Gyrick. And that little sneaky Dave Lanky's got a few in as well.
Hi. Just looking at one here from Gareth Hamer as well. It's YouTuber builds pocket-sized Game Boy emulator using an e-reader that demonstrates an actually playable refresh rate. And I thought this might be end up being, the e-reader I showed you, Mike, the little tiny
Yeah.
X4. But it's not. It's another. I mean, they're all based on the ESP32. But this is an M5 stack Paper S3. It's called, and they've done a high refresh rate driver for the screen, and yeah, apparently it seems to work quite well for Game Boy. Although you are limited to touchscreen buttons, it would seem, but not the worst way to play Game Boy, maybe.
I got a crazy one here. These always really interest me. So a fella, David LaSala, was able to get Spotify to run on the fucking Vectrex. Like what?
Yeah, I saw that.
Bro, this is crazy. He has a little bit of an accent, so he's from another country or something, but he actually has like, which is funny when he's playing it and he's showing the things running. He's like listening to Alabama of all groups, which is just hilarious. But he gets the damn thing to work, and he's using a Pytrex, and he's connecting the original Vectrex display to modern streaming device and everything. So there's a video that you guys can watch. But David LaSala, props to you, tip of the hat, sir. Like fucking badass that you got something crazy like this to work. Like I don't know. I want to know what kind of like weird LSD trip you were on where you were like, my fucking Vectrex needs to play Spotify. Like badass, sir. Like that's awesome.
Speaking of Vectrex, we're not too far away now, I think, from the Vectrex Mini sort of being ready and prototype units. I think, is it August or September they were hoping to ship? They did send out an email a couple of weeks, 3 weeks ago maybe. So hopefully that's not too far away. But music related, sort of. We've seen these kind of things before. Gareth Hamer sends this one in. Watch hard drive speakers playing Second Reality. It's a video on YouTube. We've seen these before where, people get floppy drives to read and, skip discs and play the Star Wars, death march kind of thing. Similar premise, but with hard drives this time. Some people have way too much time on their hands, but he's laid it out quite nicely. It's almost like it's on the top of his sideboard, like in his living room, and he's got them sort of almost in a frame, these 4 hard drives, as they're playing tune. He's got like a full sound system set up with his hard drives. Crazy.
Awesome. I have sent one in here. I think it was me. Sure, it was me. Yes, saying get the lawyers and showers on the phone. This was a story on Time Extend about a device that helps you restore. It's an open source project, helps you restore physical media. Speaking of physical media, as we are this month, you need to keep those discs nice and healthy because they're going away. But the reason I was particularly angry and want the lawyers involved is because they called it the RGR Easy Pro.
What?
Fuck. Sue their ass.
What? How dare they?
Yeah, it's a 3D printable box, essentially, that I think just basically, polishes and resurfaces your discs.
Polish your knob.
One here, it's taken a little while to load, but the headline says it all, really. Oh, there we go. Sent in by Charlie. As big tech showers employees with perks to win the talent war, NVIDIA built a nearly $5 trillion company by making people pay for their own lunch. So no Google vending machines or lunch breaks here. NVIDIA make you buy your own, God damn it. I don't see anything wrong with that, personally.
Listen, at my previous company, we did the food service for Meta, Google, LinkedIn, and the whole premise was around making sure that nobody ever left. Like,
wow,
stay on campus as much as you want. I think a lot of that stuff is kind of shifting these days, but there was a heyday kind of.
Yeah, because they're all using AI. Who doesn't need lunch?
Yeah. I mean, kind of true, man. There was a point in time though where the shit was nuts. I mean, they were like, you want shawarma, you want 27 Red Bulls, like it's all free. It's all right here.
Yeah.
Don't ever leave. Don't ever go home. And it's changing.
Do they still have buses that pick all their employees up as well? Bus them in?
I'd have to talk to my sister, but I know that, as of not long ago, Apple had a bus that was driving all around the Bay Area, picking people up and driving them to work and stuff, and like connected AI. And there was like beverages and light snacks and stuff, and like the snacks on the bus were like, we're not talking like Lay's potato chips. It's like primal beef jerky, like vegan sourced, original, like origin heritage potatoes and shit like that. Is fucking nuts.
Gareth Hamer in chat says, "Stop watching the GIF." Which one was it? Because they're kind of out of sync for me.
It's the one with the bottle.
Oh, yeah, that's still on. Let me change it so people don't get distracted.
All right, while you do that, I'm going to leave you the one that's about Linux for you. I'm going to go with David Gyrick's one titled Bad Gen. And he says, it seems like it's non-stop bad news for the past few years. This is an opinion piece saying that the PS5 and Xbox Series generation has been a race to the bottom. And I think, most of this we've covered over the last couple of months. Xbox been through some interesting times, shall we say. Complete leadership overhaul, getting rid of most of their studios. It seems like the only ones that are left are the ones that are about to release games, but are looking forward to having another 1,600 jobs go by the end of the fiscal year. So that's probably, once you've shipped your games, we'll ship you out the door probably. So yeah, they're doing all sorts of shit. And even so, just recently this week, I think it was, Asha Sharma had pulled in someone that she worked with in the AI division to be a technical head. He's quit and fucked off to an AI startup. So that sort of left them with a big hole there. So
the way that headline read, when I did see that headline, it looked like she'd gone at first. I had to reread it like, she can't have gone already. No way.
Yeah. She's not fucking a British Prime Minister, is she? I mean, come on.
No.
Is this the lady in Xbox?
Yeah. And so yeah, they don't seem to know what the fuck they're doing about.
No.
They had a big plan to move everything onto as many platforms as possible, make as much money out their games as possible, because the Xbox as a hardware wasn't selling. Now they're going all in again on console exclusives, but then no, like the rumors were that the next box is going to be a PC, which kind of has been backed up by them now releasing Xbox backwards compatible games on PC, almost as like preparation. But then if they're just going exclusives, then that's not going to work. So fuck knows. And obviously everything is very expensive. And then yeah, PlayStation have now sort of come in and said, hold my beer, we're getting rid of physical media. Oh, by the way, we're doing this thing to stop you accessing your own purchased digital media. Yeah,
but if Xbox comes out and they're like, fuck it, we're gonna keep making discs, like,
well, yeah, that is true. That might be enough.
So you sent one here, Random. Play more of the games you love wherever you play with Xbox. Backward compatibility on PC. David Gyrick sent the same, not the same link, but the same story. They're sort of moving everything over to PC. So as long as you've got a Game Pass, I think, and you bought the game maybe digitally before, I don't know exactly. Yeah. I didn't read too much detail, but you could now play that on PC. So that bit I think is okay. Maybe you still need a valid pass and you have to keep up to date with your pass. You can't just move all your old shit that you used to have. I don't know.
Anything you've bought outright,
okay,
you can play through this scheme. And then it's just that if you have Game Pass, you also get it as part of Game Pass.
Right. See, this, like Mark says, this could be like Microsoft could just come out and say, over here, guys, physical discs. You remember the Sony thing where they said, this is how you lend a game to a friend.
Here's how you share a game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Is there a bigger open goal? Like, really?
Yeah, it's nuts how they've gone from that where Xbox were like everything's going to be locked down to online accounts. You've always got to be online, blah blah blah, and like Sony doing that quick video, that E3 just going, here's how you share, we've got discs, and then now they've just gone, and we're not doing disc anymore because we want the factories to make other things. And
yeah, crazy.
Yeah,
swing and a miss, Xbox, swing and a miss.
Speaking of swing and a miss, got another one here, and I apologize, guys. My computer's messed up, so I can't see who sent this in. But Atari signs a 10-game deal with Universal for movies based on Pong, Breakout, Centipede, and yes, really Pong. So get ready for 10 minutes or 90 minutes of Liam Neeson punching holes in brick walls or something. So. A Deadline report says Atari is partnership with the management and production company Entertainment 360, which has signed a deal to give Universal Pictures the right to turn 10 of Atari's best-known games into movies. Atari's like quietly trying to do some stuff with this Wade Rosen character. Like I kind of like his swag. I like your swag, bro. Like he's trying to do some stuff. And trying to revive the brand. And I don't hate it. He said, we're excited to work with Universal Entertainment and 360 to bring the spirit of our iconic brand and games to a new medium. Fuck it, man. Asteroids, Adventure, Berserk, Breakout, Centipede, Crystal Castles, Millipede, Missile Command, Pong, yes, Pong, and Yar's Revenge. So, it's going to be big scale action adventure fair. Put Michael Bay behind it. See what happens, man. I'm always rooting for Atari, man. I love Atari, like old school, thump my chest. Let's go. Let's see what they can do. Love to see them rise from the ashes like a phoenix or something in the future. Never count Atari out. Or this Wade Rosen figure that was, building hotels and fucking Bitcoins and everything else for fucking Atari. I mean, he's trying, man. He's trying to do something. I mean, it's better than the last 20 years of bullshit that Atari went through. So let's fucking go, dude. That's what I say.
Well, it's funny you should mention Atari Hotels because David Gyrick has sent in an email that they are, again, still pushing for investment into Atari Hotels. You can even register for a webinar. It does say, note, this investment is in the Atari Hotels Phoenix project under the entity Central Roro LLC with a license from Atari, not with Atari Interactive Incorporated.
Sounds super sketchy, like, yeah. Or no, I mean, it sounds totally legit.
Hey, dude, come here. You want to invest in a hotel, dude? No, it's super legit.
I like as well. Down the page, there's the architects behind the dream, and there's all these pictures of these people in front of this brick wall, and then this woman clearly badly photoshopped in front of the brick wall. It's just like, dude, get all the team there if you're going to do these photos. Or
yeah.
Who was the jackass that Kennedy used to work with that claimed he brought Tetris to America?
What's his face? Oh, he wasn't in the Tetris movie, was he? Well, he's still supposed to be there. Phil Adam.
Phil Adams, yeah. Like, I feel like this is like a Phil Adams joint. Like, Phil Adams should be involved in the hotel.
I've got a clip
as
about
like an advisor.
Where is it?
It would make me more comfortable if Phil Adams was involved.
It might be this one. It might take a couple of goes.
Everyone sounds and looks normal.
No, it's not that one.
What's Phil Adam up to?
He was trying to save the business and the console and not doing very well at it.
I heard he's going over to...
He just doesn't want this mess to spill over to the magazine.
I heard he's going over
to... Yeah, Phil Adam, the man who brought Tetris to the US, and then the Tetris movie about bringing Tetris to the US didn't feature him at all.
Phil Adam, what's up, buddy?
Yeah, he's still.
I'm still just
sending out emails from. No, is it still called Intellivision? No, it's called Amico now, isn't it? Yeah.
Oh, fuck knows. lost track of what it does seem. I do, although the other day I did get curious while I was bored at work and thought, oh, I'll just pop into the Reddit for the Amico and see what the latest news is, and that appears to have been long deleted. So never mind. And yeah, I was going to say I'm still a bit annoyed that I never did end up buying an Atari Hotels hoodie that they used to sell, because I'm pretty sure you can't get them now.
What about like an Atari cod piece? That seems more fitting for you.
Yeah. Oh, the speaker hat.
I was about to say, well, I can't show that off as much, but I don't know.
You know, I don't know. I've seen pictures of you on your travels, dude. So one here, random alluded to earlier, sent in by Peter Gibbs. UK Mike said he only wanted to use Linux. And this is Linux MD. It's Linux running on a Mega Drive. The problem for it is the console 68000 processor has no MMU, which is what Linux uses to manage its memory. So it kind of gets around that by using a cartridge. It is a proof of concept. You're not really going to do very much with it, but yes, Linux is technically running on a Mega Drive. So thank you, Peter Gibbs, for that. Interesting story, Peter. Your least amusing subject title this month. But it does what it says on the tin, I guess.
Oh, it makes me think, actually, you were talking about Pi-hole earlier and stuff. Wonder if the Wii Linux is enough to run Pi-hole. Probably uses 5 times more electricity than a Pi or a Pi Zero, but
I used to run DS Linux.
Yeah, but you've not got Ethernet on a DS.
Hmm?
You've not got Ethernet on a DS.
No, it did. You could have, because I built a website for it, a tiny little sort of text-only website. You could browse with your DS.
Only on Wi-Fi though.
Yeah, Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I'm not running my DNS.
Oh, right. Oh
DNS
no,
server
for
through
Pi-hole is
Wi-Fi.
what you said. Yeah, no, but
Yeah.
I used to run Linux on a DS. I mean, Pi-hole just uses fuck all, really. I mean, it's basically a DNS server, isn't it? Which it's not doing a huge amount, I guess. But.
No. Mentioned, again, back to physical media, and obviously the thing that kick-started all of the PC digital shift was Steam and Half-Life 2. That was a pain in the ass. I remember my mate trying to play that on launch day, and we watched him, and you had to, he already had the files on a disk, but then it had to then decrypt them in Steam, which took longer than it would do to download it these days. But people find a way with PC to keep things alive, and you can now. Someone has made Half-Life 2 in a browser. It runs at over 100 FPS, apparently. Well, I guess depending on your host machine and browser. But yeah, the whole campaign is playable using WebGL2 and JavaScript. So that will, I guess, presumably is one way of preserving Half-Life 2 for however long.
Tom's Hardware. I mean, it's a great site, but their URLs are ridiculous. It's like tomsHardware.com/videogames/PC-gaming/ you can now play Half-Life 2 right inside your browser at over 100 FPS with save states and console support. Ingenious port recreates the entire game campaign using WebGL-2. That's the URL. I mean, fucking hell. Have you ever heard of Bitly? Come on. Christ. It's your blog. You're in charge of it. Sort your URLs out.
Got one here from the community. Modder does what Nintendo don't and makes Switch 2 Virtual Boy controller. Works with both the original Virtual Boy and Switch 2 wirelessly. So, pretty interesting here. It's Tinkerer James channel. The Virtual Boy controller mod replaces the OG retro controller innards with the new retro Onyx Bluetooth guts. Looks pretty cool. Like, this is another one of those, like, one-off Tinkerer things if you want to mess around and play with it. Remind me, are the Virtual Boy games on the Retro Store or whatever? I think they were.
Yeah, they're on the the Switch Virtual Console, but you have to have the expansion pass of the online service to get them.
Okay. So I mean, this is cool. You know, it looks like maybe he's 3D printed this and come up with a way. But for power, you still need to use the original battery holder in the back, or you could use AA batteries if you wish. But looks pretty cool. Give you some 1990 vibes. So there you go.
Peter Gibbs sent in one called Blocky Kong, which was the leak news of the Donkey Kong Lego set. He says he loves Donkey Kong like this, but probably not the hundreds of dollars he thinks it'll cost. I sent that it had leaked. Gareth Hamer had sent in that a $200 Donkey Kong arcade cabinet had leaked.
This was probably the second most submitted, or maybe even the most submitted story.
So I think they're all the leak ones. I've certainly done a follow-up. Don't think anyone else has, but it did get officially announced. And then I've sent a link to, it was a Verge article, and they've got an excerpt from an interview with the designer. And it sort of talks about how the mechanism works, how they decided to, they were trying to work out what to do with the barrels, and then they just sort of went with this. So it would just have loads of barrels in this big loader, and then use a big plunger, so that the arcade buttons, makes Mario jump, and the barrels sort of auto feed down to him, and you can keep jumping and jumping and jumping because he's Jumpman.
Crisscross will make you jump.
Supposedly Shigeru Miyamoto has said, "Oh, I really like it," or something.
Yeah.
Whether he's actually seen it or not,
I don't know. Yeah, I did see that. Maybe I sent that in that Miyamoto was happy with it. Yeah, who knows?
It does look a very nice cabinet, though. I think it was about 150 quid in the UK. It worked out to, which is that's about the ballpark for the money my mates would spend on me on my birthday. So we'll see.
One here from Gareth Hamer. Germany's massive 60,000 game preservation project collapses after 1.5 million euro funding dries up. The archive was entirely publicly available but has now been abandoned. Unfortunately, they just run out of money. I mean, were they renting premises? It was making it online, so was it server space, server storage? Did they get DDoSed by bots like we did? I don't know, but they've run out of money.
So, got one here, released at San Diego Comic-Con the past week. So Hasbro has got the license to produce new toys based on Legend of Zelda. So, yeah, they released they revealed 3 6-inch scale figures at San Diego Comic-Con this week, and they said for decades Legend of Zelda franchise has captivated fans through the deep lore, unforgettable characters, and the enduring sense of discovery. Great. But I also read another story this week where Hasbro suffers huge financial suffering after scrapping several video games. So they're also the license holder for Dungeons and Dragons and Wizards of the Coast and Magic the Gathering, and they were making some video games and scrapped a whole bunch of that shit. So I don't know, man. It seems like Hasbro's a mess. And honestly, I went to the Walmarts the other day to get some Waterloo because that's the best place to buy it, which is I'm holding up on screen right now. And it is some sparkling blackberry lemonade sparkling water, calorie free. And I don't usually go to the Walmart.
Water's calorie free, right?
What's that?
Water's calorie free.
It is. It doesn't taste like this. But when I go to the Walmarts, I like to just kind of like meander around a little bit. I usually kind of like go through the toy section, just kind of loop my cart through a little bit and see, what do they got going on?
See how
they had
people live.
Yeah, look at all the weirdos with their asses hanging out and stuff, like fighting each other. But I went through there and man, they had like this huge display of Masters of the Universe toys. And the movie came out in June, so it's a little long in the tooth now. Maybe even heading to video, but man, like the toys look pretty cool. I remember Masters of the Universe when I was growing up. My cousin was more into them than I was. I never really liked that size of figure. I was more of a G.I. Joe kind of Star Wars character guy. But they look good. They had Battle Cat and some other shit, and they had like Tila and Beastman and Skeletor and all, like huge display of all these fucking toys. Not one fucking kid looking at any of this shit. Like, but there was like older, nerdier men, like, middle-aged men that were looking at this shit, and kind of with most of the toys. So I wonder, like, man, like, do kids even like really play with fucking toys anymore? Like, I kind of feel like we're in a sad reality. Like, anytime I'm at like volleyball tournaments and people have their like, younger kid brothers at the tournament, like they have a fucking Switch in their hand or a fucking iPhone. They're watching like One Piece or some shit. Like, I never see kids playing with action figures, like like, fighting each other and just like pulling them out. Even like when my older daughter played competitively, and she's 20 now, but like when she was like 13, so even like 7 years ago, I remember like younger kid brothers like pulled out some action figures and were playing with them and stuff. And I just feel like now, like it's all digital, man. Like I don't even know if kids like play with this shit. I feel like they're catering towards adults, and that's who's buying this stuff. And I feel like people buy it as like an investment and throw it in a collectible package. I mean, I was walking through the Walmart and there was like a discount aisle where it's like, like somebody opened up Sentan lotion or like some dog, like discontinued dog food with arsenic in it or whatever, and like all that shit's in the aisle. And they had like, you guys, did you ever watch the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon in the 80s?
Yeah, I love it. Still got it.
I love that shit. Like I have it on DVD.
And I've got the script of the unmade final episode.
They actually, it's on YouTube. You can watch.
Oh, they made it?
Yeah, somebody actually made it. Like,
right.
Yeah, you gotta go see it, man. It's badass. Like,
I will.
Where Avengers Redeemed or whatever. But yeah, you gotta go see it. But man, they had like all the Dungeons and Dragons like action figures there, and they were like larger, like maybe like 9-inch, kind of Barbie size characters and stuff like that. And I don't really get down with like larger action figures, but like, man, they were like on sale for like $3.99 because it was just like they were trying to blow them out. Like nobody bought them. Like, but these are like cool ass toys. If I was like had a little nephew or something, like I'd scoop up a bunch of these and just be like, here you go, dude. Like, go play with them. But like, I don't even think kids play with that stuff. I don't have a nephew. I only have nieces. They're certainly not playing with like, Uni and, Acrobat and Cavalier and shit like that. But like, man, it's kind of weird. Like, it's cool that they got the license, and I'm sure they'll sell out all these Legend of Zelda. I mean, it's certainly collectible. Yeah,
there'll be scalpers getting them. But my granddaughters play with figures like years ago it would be Barbie dolls and shit, but now it's all like Monster High or what's that? K-pop Demon Hunters and
K-pop Demon Hunters.
Yeah, it's all that kind of
stuff.
Yeah,
but I played with that shit. Like I remember, like 6th grade. Getting like fucking Ninja Turtles and G.I. Joes and shit.
We had Action Man was bigger here than G.I. Joe was, but you could get a G.I. Joe, but Action Man was our G.I. Joe.
Like I was in middle school. Like I was like 12, 13 years old.
like 27, going to work.
No, but like I was like, I was like still a teenager.
Dude, I had rockets, I had Jeeps, we had the Evil Knievel stunt cycle. Do you remember that shit?
Yeah, like I was playing with like X-Men figures and shit. Like while I was definitely like 12, 13 years old, and it was like not weird. Like it was kind of a common thing. Where now, like, I don't know how old your granddaughters are, but I would imagine by the time they're like 8, like that shit's over. Like they're Like,
Yeah,
that's
the
not cool
oldest
anymore.
one's 8. She's like past that. Like the youngest one is
Yeah.
5. The grandson, the oldest one, is like between 18 months and 2. He's probably about 20 months. But with him, it's all
Yeah.
tractors and Hot Wheels and cars and shit.
He's done with that. By the time he's
Yeah.
4, he's gonna be like, dude,
Yeah. He loves
I'm
cars.
just into like
and
hardcore
everything's
porn
a
now or
helicopter.
something.
Like he can't. He can just about say granddad now, but for months he's been able to say helicopter. Like anything he sees in the sky, he says helicopter. We're like, no, that's a plane, dude. It's like,
That's
helicopter.
Yeah. But I mean, like, I just feel like that window has been compressed for physical toys, where like it's just not
Yeah.
interesting. Other than Legos, I do feel like Legos can last a bit longer, but like the action figure game, like, man, like it's just, it's kind of sad. Like, you know,
There's so
maybe
much
they-
choice now, though. Like, what did we have? We had Star Wars, we had Action Man, G.I. Joe, we had Evil Knievel,
Transformers.
we had a few Transformers,
yes.
Turtles, but there wasn't
Turtles,
the
yeah.
choice there is now. It's because also we get the foreign stuff like the Demon Hunters. What's that? Is it Korean or Japanese or whatever?
K-pop, yeah.
Korean,
Yeah, it's just there are so many choices. It's all just too dispersed.
I would say that there's more media choices. I don't know if like there's necessarily more toy choices, because I don't feel like the toy aisles had like necessarily expanded that much. Like maybe some from the time that I was younger, but like I just feel like we no longer have the homogenous society where like everybody was like, oh yeah, you see that like Ninja Turtles episode or whatever, you know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
we had
They've-
Mask. I mean,
It's saved a lot of space now by not stocking massive fucking boxes of Scalextric and shit like that anymore.
Yeah.
Train sets, like you never see.
We
see
can
that
order
anymore.
that in for you.
But if you think about it, you had like 2 channels that would play cartoons, whereas now you've got like an infinite feed of cartoons and shit to sell you stuff. So it's not terribly surprising, I
And
guess.
some
in
of
that
them, like
respect.
some of the ones my oldest kids used to watch, there was never action figures or toys. Like Johnny Bravo, they used to watch that all the time. Like I've never seen a Johnny Bravo lunchbox, action figure, anything. I've just what's it like? Two Stupid Dogs was another. What all the other shit they used to watch? Ed, and Eddie. They just didn't have the merch. They used to watch it all the time, but there was no merch. Anyway, speaking of entertainment, we've got some more for you. I've got 3 back-to-back movie ones. Gareth Hamer sent one in. Hey, you guys. It's about Goonies. I sent in a Backrooms movie review. And Peter Gibbs sent one in, a more amusing title. Hopefully not a ghost of its former self. And Gareth Hamer sent the same story. It's about Ghostbusters, so let's just get into these. Ami Goonies is the one from Gareth Hamer. He called it Hey You Guys. It's a homebrew project recreating the iconic MSX game The Goonies for Amiga, obviously, as the name would suggest. We'll jump to the Ghostbusters one. Ghostbusters Remastered is to bring back the Commodore 64 classic back from the afterlife. I don't think you need to bring it back. The original is still very playable. The sound is awesome. The tune is awesome. The game is great. I don't see why you need to remaster it. Doesn't need to look any better. It's about how it plays, and it plays just fine. The Backrooms movie review. Oh, I can't get to it because it's an image, isn't it? Of course it is. Let me just pull it up quickly locally, and we'll see what it says. Bear with. It was, so I was reading about the movie because I knew I wouldn't have time to watch it, so I thought I'll just, do a bit of reading up about it and find out, what people think. Do I need to watch it? Because I did enjoy Obsession. I mentioned, was it 2 months ago? I missed last news, I think, that I watched Undertones, whichever it was. It was fucking awful. But this one is a Backrooms review. I'm opening the image right now. I'm trying to. Is it going to open? Come on. Come on, open with whatever.
Suspense is killing us,
It
Michael.
is. I know. It's going to be worth it. Trust me. Why are you not opening, you ball bag? Open with. Let's choose something else. Brave browser?
I
Will it
often-
open
I
with- Oh,
often-
yes, it will. Oh, here we go. So it's a screenshot from the film, and the review is simply this. White boys are wearing crop tops in horror movies again. God bless. Bring back the crop top. You remember SoCal tried to bring it back? Let's bring the cutoff back, guys. I've got a clip of that somewhere. It's probably not named
Culture.
cutoff. It will be named by date, so I'd never find it. But he said, let's bring the cutoff back, guys.
I do remember, yeah.
I disagree with the premise, but I get where he was coming from.
Sticking with the movies, I sent one in earlier. Yes, oh no, it was yesterday. I have no idea what's going on anymore.
Oh, no, it was
They
2 years
dropped
ago.
they dropped a trailer and a release date for the reboot Resident Evil movie,
Yes. Have you watched the trailer?
which yeah, I did. Yes,
It looks
doesn't
pretty good.
seem particularly Resident Evil-y,
It doesn't, but I think the premise of it seems okay.
but yeah, it seems like it's
There's
going
a typewriter and some shotgun cartridges.
There's a typewriter and a shotgun. Yeah, great. And he says Raccoon City at the end. Yeah.
Yeah, you got to wait for that bit though.
But no, I'm cautiously hopeful because I don't know if it was the last one or the one before now. I've lost track of
There's
them
8
all.
of them.
But well, no, but those they're in sort of very definite. Right, this is a run. The original. Well,
yeah.
What was his name? Paul W.S. Anderson. And then they've rebooted, and there was like Welcome to Raccoon City was the last one they tried to do it all again. Can't remember. But
Can show you video, don't you, dude?
it does look terribly Resident Evil-y, but then the ones that have tried to force, oh look, game reference haven't been good films at all. So yeah, we shall see where that comes. Sparkle, now you're back. Have you seen the trailer for the new Resident Evil movie?
No, because it's one that I wanted to go see, so I usually try to skip the previews for movies. Like, I don't know. Would you guys agree with me? Usually, like, a preview kind of ruins the fucking movie.
Can do.
It can.
Yeah.
I don't think this does. I mean, if it's a shitty movie, they show you all the best bits, but you don't know till you're in there. But this, I mean,
Take my advice.
gonna be
Horror
tough to
movies,
fuck it up.
never watch the fucking the trailer, because it's gonna, like, every scary bit you're gonna be like, remember that movie Megan with like the fucking doll?
yeah.
Literally, like, the trailer was like every like funny awesome kill, you're like, then you watch the movie, you're like, God, like it's like they gave me the trailer and then expanded
I'll
on
refer
it.
to
like,
my previous comment. It's a shitty movie.
No, Megan's good. I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
the first Resident Evil was not bad.
Yeah.
Have you watched Over Your Dead Body? Over Her Dead Body,
Uh,
was it? The new one. Jason Segel. That's pretty good.
don't-
Gets a bit crazy.
No.
Have you watched it, Random?
Where
Where the couple go to the lake.
it's on my list.
Yeah.
And
And
we've not.
they both secretly
done it
want to
one.
kill each other. But it just
Yeah.
it escalates really quick. It's
Oh!
pretty crazy.
Yeah, I think is that with
With the lawnmower.
with,
You were going to say with the chick from
Ready or
Ready or
Not.
Not. Yeah.
yes,
Yeah,
Samantha Weaving or whatever.
Yeah,
or
wearing maybe. Yeah.
wearing, or
It does
Hugo
rather.
Weaving's daughter or whatever. Or
Yeah,
niece.
good.
Yeah, I did watch that.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
It was.
It
yeah.
was like solid B movie,
Mhm.
like good
Yeah.
popcorn flick kind of thing.
I think
like,
the thing with that though, I think it knew what it was. It just didn't try and be anything too clever. It just is what we're about. You can jump on board with it, or you can fuck off. I thought it was pretty good.
Did we do the SNK thing?
We did not.
Okay. An oversight we deeply regret. Games Done Quick cancels SNK sponsored stream following backlash over studio Saudi Arabian ownership. So, no speedrunning organization was trying to do something, and SNK backlash for the fighting game studio being the majority owned by Saudi Arabia's public investment fund. They apologized for the oversight and said there was failed conduct to the level of review. So, it just sounds like there's some like human rights records and, like questionable ownership and censorship and stuff like that. And, Doctors Without Borders involved, and like the whole thing kind of becomes a mess. And I just think that like,
show me a country that never did any bad shit, our own included. You know what I mean? Like, where do you draw the line?
Man, I'll get a little bit political here for a minute, but I don't get it, man. Like what's going on with like, another friggin' war in the Middle East and all this stuff. I just, live and let live kind of thing. Gas is shooting through the roof here, and all these foreign countries and ownerships and things like that, and their human rights and what they got going on over there and everything else. I don't get it. I just hope that we can kind of move past all this stuff expeditiously, because like I said, I don't get it. I'm just kind of concerned about my family and my neighbors and things like that. We getting these foreign entanglements and everything. It seems complicated. Maybe I'm just, it's beyond my comprehension, but I hope that even this, like, where there's like Saudi Arabia is now involved with like some kind of version of SNK's like old school games and stuff like that. Like, I don't know. It seems complicated, man. I don't know why it gets like that, but I'll leave it at that.
One here from Gareth Hamer. A piece of GTA modding history that was considered lost has been rebuilt from scratch and fixed 22 years later. So maybe my co-host will know more about this. I'm guessing it was a piece of the GTA map that was inaccessible. Maybe it was, just not used in the final game, but you don't delete stuff like that in case you break something. You just, remove the way to access it. But somebody modded a bridge, I think. Just reading this, in 2004, modder Ilano86 built a bridge that allowed players to more formally access the area. So, I guess that mod was lost on its original platform, and someone has recreated it. Is that the case? Am I interpreting that correctly?
That is what it seems, yeah. But yeah, I mean, it happens, bits and pieces get sort of, you're initially building out a level, and then, you might start arting it up and then just decide you haven't got time, so you focus on a certain bit, and then it's more effort than it's worth to sort of go back and delete some of it, or maybe use it as a staging ground to sort of initially spawn things into memory over here, and then, you just pull them into the main map where you need them, and there's various reasons for all this kind of shit. My favorite one was I was working on a exercise bike game software type thing, and we found that there was all these like weird, like we were always trying to find like make crazy jumps.
Is it a game for while you're riding on the bike?
Yes. So like it would like very, before
like
all of
Peloton type software.
yeah. But before all of that, quite early on, and it was, it would, as you're going uphill, it adds more resistance. The faster you pedal, the faster you're going, and everything like that. I always wanted to mod it into a MAME, so that I could play like Hang On it and stuff like that, but never got around to it. But there was we were always finding jumps and stuff like that and shortcuts. And there was this bit where we found that was this corner of this forest, and you went into it and you got teleported into like this completely weird fantasy garden. It's like, who the fuck has made this weird thing? And you couldn't ride around it. You were just sort of just stuck in this weird thing. It's like, yeah. So, and then we found loads more teleports that would also take you there. So we called that technique, we called it Narniation. Because you get sent into this weird fantasy world. So yeah, that was good times.
Did you play around with that Tomb Raider one I sent in the other month random, where you could fly around the levels? Some of those were bits that were kind of not finished and just cut off, or textures that were high up and you couldn't get to, that were just like, well, don't matter. No one's going to see it.
Yeah, we talked about in that first levels, the GoldenEye, the bit where you get onto the dam, and then in the distance there's like this whole sort of bit of level that you kind of never get to.
Yeah.
But some people would always try. Got one here from Gareth Hamer again. He has sent a lot in, hasn't he? He's a good boy. This is a YouTube video posing the question of, is it possible to do Mario 64 on 3DO? And someone has built a demo, and you sort of look at it at first and you're like, well, this is like incredibly ropey. And then if you've ever played a reasonable selection of the 3DO catalog, it's actually kind of on par.
Or if you played Mario 64.
I joke a little, yeah. Yeah, so some of the games on there are somewhat shabby, but yeah, it's not. There's a lot of bits wrong with it, but maybe it'll get there. I mean, it's not the kind of system that I would imagine should be running Mario 64 in any kind of right.
No.
So
interesting though, when people do stuff like that. There was another one further down, something running on the N64, was it?
Oh, Sega Rally.
Sega Rally, yeah, running on the N64. That was interesting.
Yeah, I mean, that seems more feasible.
Yeah,
certainly though. Then yeah, and it's like when you see, was it someone had put Tomb Raider on the Game Boy Advance? That was the one that was pretty mental, I think.
Yeah, that was going back a while, wasn't it? I remember that from a while back. Yeah, the Sega Rally one it looked fine until every so often, like the wheels on the car would turn inwards, or not turn inwards, but like pigeon toe almost sort of thing. It's just the odd graphical glitch here and there, but I mean, it's
the wheels do some weird shit on the I think even on the arcade,
right?
They do some odd
I never
stuff,
look at the external views.
It's just like when you at the end when you cross the line, and then the camera shows the side of the car, like especially I think it's the rear wheel arches. Would do some weird shit. Yeah.
Speaking of porting games, from Gareth Hamer again, porting Doom to the Casio Loopy. Yes, someone's done it. Yes, it sort of runs. Who knew? It's a short article. It's on Hackaday, which is a good site. Gareth sends in quite a few links from there. I jump over there every so often. But yeah, Doom yet again. Rears its head.
I know we did the Genesis. This is Genesis 32X, Linux, which was covered. That was also sent in by Gareth Hamer. And then also Charlie has sent in the 32X Linux port. So lots of that going around.
Lots of Linux everywhere. One here about Chucky Egg. It is from Simon Morgan. Is that a name we've seen before? It doesn't ring a bell. Certainly not a common one with emails sent in, but thank you, Simon. All these emails, of course, have been sent in by our listeners to news@retrogamingroundup.com. You too can send yours in, and we may talk about them. We'll probably talk about them. And this is about the classic 80s game Chuckie Egg making a return. They speak to the original developer, Nigel Alderton, who wrote it at 16, and he's revisiting it. I don't know why he feels the need to. It's still just a rock-solid game. Fantastic game. And one of our listeners, Jeff, owns the world record for it, I do believe. Do you own a world record? Do you hold it? I don't know. What if he's got it, but he's put it down?
If you're Tommy Tallarico, you just pay for it.
Yeah.
Got one here, which sadly, our co-host, Subaru Brat, Scott Schreiber, is not available to be here. But moments in NFL history. Madden NFL enters pop sports culture history. So, Madden NFL was launched in June 1st, 1988. So it's a big celebration last month. Groundbreaking 11-on-11 football experience, authentic to professional football, not that faggot socket sport that you guys play in the UK. And, it went on to be developed by Sega Genesis consoles in 91 and kind of exploded into history. I'll say this. I actually went to a Charlotte FC game this week with my daughter, and World Cup and everything else just kind of happened. I know it was like probably heartbreaking for all you jerks in the UK seeing your team lose and then come back in
we never expected them to win, so the heartbreak is limited.
Yeah.
Third place.
Not very surprising.
Dude, like it's I don't know, man. Like what?
So did you?
Thank God. Like,
was there
Scott's
any games near where you were? You go to Atlanta. Were the games in Atlanta? Did it come on your radar? Did it affect you? Did you see crowds? Were there people from all over the world in your town or whatever?
Brutal. It was huge. Like they drank. Like the UK people came to Boston, and drank all the beer in Boston.
Oh,
like,
I saw
ran
that,
out of beer.
Yeah,
like they literally ran out of beer. Like what? It's nuts. But like I don't really understand it. Maybe we just like have a little sidebar for a minute, and you can explain the love of football to me or something. But I mean, it's like we went to one of the games, and they're like, 11 dudes. They're kind of like running around the field, like the pitch, and they're kicking a ball, and they're like, I guess I get it. Like, so I'll, just like analyst side of me being like, okay, like I get it. Like any size human, you could kind of grow up in like an Amazon village and like kick around a severed head or something and like play football. Like it's kind of like a poor sport that like any human can play on the planet. Like you have to have money if you're going to play hockey, because you have to have like gear and like a ice rink and shit like that. It's a little bit more exciting, but I don't know, man. It's kind of boring to me. Like they run around and like they kick the ball, and it's usually like 2-0 or like 1-2 or something, and it's like 90 fucking minutes. At least like American football, like you have like the smash, the big plays. You watch basketball, constant action. I love volleyball. From the minute the ball leaves your hand, it's like total action. I love tennis. Is like, back, forth. I hate golf. Boring as hell. Like, explain to me the love of soccer.
I was gonna say, how'd you feel about cricket?
Like, I mean, even baseball. Like, I went to the World Championship game a couple years ago in Miami. It was like Puerto Rico versus Israel in Miami, and it was like two big crowds, and like they were doing the whole like like chanting, and like the whole stadium was on fire. And I love the energy. I love the energy of football, right? Like where like you're chanting. I was in Germany a few years back, and it was like Bern versus München, and it was like this huge thing. And they were like on the subway singing the songs. Everyone's fucking drunk, and like there was like energy. Like I love the energy, but like the sport itself is just like kind of fucking boring, man. Like there's way better sports.
So a lot of it comes down to culture, right? We've talked about attention spans and that kind of thing. And not a criticism, but the way American media works is we show you 5 minutes of a program, we go to commercial, we come back, we show you 2 minutes recapping the previous 5 minutes, we'll show you another 3 minutes, we go to commercial. American football kind of works like that with the plays. You know, you have a down, then you have a break. Sometimes they'll show a commercial. The commentators will talk about stuff. Let's talk to the manager, brought to you on a microphone, sponsored by Shaw, the best microphones in the world. You know, and they kind of throw that shit in. Our culture does not do that. We can have a sport on TV that runs 45 minutes per half, no interruptions. Not a problem for us. When the World Cup, was it 4 years ago, was in Qatar? Or it might be 4 or 8. I think it was the last one in Qatar. It was 41 degrees, no hydration breaks. 45 minutes, 41 degrees, play fucking football. Go to the US, in a closed, air-conditioned 21-degree stadium, they had a hydration break. That's not for hydration.
For commercials.
That's for fucking commercials. You ruin the game. Literally, if you show a game in America, even if you don't have a hydration break, you show the 45 minutes, like it will go to picture-in-picture, and you'll show commercials on the big screen while the game's running minimized. It's like culturally, you cannot accept football for the sport it is. And football is a game of momentum, and the kind of the pressure changes. So a team will be on top, somebody gets a lucky break, they score a goal, the momentum changes, and it's all about that consistent, constant pressure. Like the best time to score a goal just before half-time. So you go into the half-time, you're on top, the team who's been playing the better football go behind, they're really down. So they come back out and they've got 45 minutes to turn it around. It's about momentum and pressure. And American sports just don't do that. Just to finish off.
Did you watch the final?
Just to finish off. Just to finish off. I've been to a baseball game in Toronto, watched the Blue Jays play, I think it was the Jets. Most boring fucking afternoon of my life. It's about 3.5 hours. It was just awful.
Team is the Jets.
It was terrible. Hated baseball. But yeah, your culture doesn't really accept a sport that does that. So the third and fourth place playoff, England versus France, probably the best game in the whole tournament, 6-4. Not because of the number of goals. Neither team gave a fuck.
That is the reason it's so good.
Neither team gave a fuck. Nothing to lose. We're not winning this thing. Let's just go out, have fun. It's our last game. We'll go home. Well, we'll go on holiday for a few weeks and then get back into the regular season. The final, so much pressure. Argentina are a bunch of dirty shitbags. Don't want to play football because they're not talented enough to beat Spain at their own level. So they totally disrupt the game. They bring it down. They foul people. They punch people. They slow the game down to set pieces in the hope that Messi gets a free kick within 25 yards of the goal, scores, and they win. The final was one of the worst games of football I've ever witnessed. But Spain just rose above it. Best team in the tournament. Best team in the world right now. The right team won. Argentina can fuck right off.
But I mean, like, I watched the whole thing, and like, I was going for Messi. Like, I bought his energy drink at Walmart, you know, and I'm like, fuck yeah, like let's go Messi. Like, this dude, he's in Miami, whatever. He's supposed to be the GOAT, and
he was.
It was fucking lame, dude. Like they kicked around like a little bitch the whole time. Like the whole time, Spain had the ball. They're constantly like kicking it. Like that goalie was fucking amazing. To be honest, like he was blocking all kinds of shit, and Argentina, like they didn't even have a goddamn kick on goal like during regular time or something. I think
that is
like,
ridiculous. They completely ruined
retarded. I'm like
a lot of the tournament and certainly the final. But you look at Messi at the end. Final whistle's gone. He's just sat on his own on the floor, and you can see him thinking, "I'm the best fucking player in the world, and I'm playing with this shower of shit, and they've just completely ruined my final World Cup game." You can see that thought going through his head, and that's just what happened.
So how does, like, explain to me this, like, how does that work? Like, do you play for a country if you're like a countryman, or like the one guy that scored the goal for like Spain, he was like, his mom walked 2,000 miles from Ghana or something. something Wilson.
So
I think
it comes down to, it can often go back to your grandparents. So there have been players in the England team and many other teams. They get a choice. You know, they qualify for different teams based on grandparents, based on parents, sometimes based on the country they're born in, but not usually. It's down to the family lineage, and they can choose which country they play for. Yeah. And
I'll go back to like, you know,
but
like
if you have the choice of playing for Spain or Ghana, what are you going to pick?
so like my
Now,
grandparents.
some
all came
people,
from
sorry to
Poland,
interrupt
so I could
again,
play like
but
if I was a
if
soccer
you're one of the
player.
best in the world, you're going to play for Spain because you're going to probably win a World Cup or a European Championship. If you're just an average team player and you could play for Spain or Ghana, you're never going to get on the team for Spain. Maybe you'll get on every game for Ghana in a World Cup or an African Nations Cup or something. So some people make the choice based on that, you know, the chances of playing for the country kind of thing. Because it's about pride at that level. When you play for your country, you don't get a huge amount of money. The money is in your regular season, your regular team. That's where your contract is. That's where your day-to-day work is. Sure, you'll get paid for playing for England, but it's not a patch on what they get for the clubs.
I think I'll go back to my comment earlier that I feel like you could be like in some godforsaken country in a jungle kicking around a severed head and like play football.
Yeah.
Whereas like some of these other sports, you know, you need a bit of money or some equipment or something to play it. So, you know, I feel like you could kind of be any size human to play football, right? Like you could be 5'2" or you could be 6'7", and as long as you like you have the motor and the gas. And I'm not trying to take anything away from them. I'm just saying like it's a sport that lends itself to like sort of any size human, where there's some sports like basketball or volleyball or football that lend themselves to like sort of
6'7" people. Basketball
yeah,
never
yeah,
always
like,
used
you know,
to. Like
Planet
Alton
Theory.
Alton
Planet
Bird
Theory,
was
like there's only so
5'8"
many
or
people
something.
this size on the planet, you know, 6'8", like
Yeah.
330 pounds or whatever, like, you know what I
Mm.
mean? So with football, you can, you know, you could be some, you know, 5'1", like Argentinian dude and like be great at the sport, where, you know, like that's just you're never gonna translate to American football or basketball or volleyball or, you know, maybe even fucking cricket, you know?
Yeah, there was a player, I think in the 80s, Alton Bird, and he was like average size, but his vertical jump was unreal. He was like a super athlete, and he played, I'm sure he played in the NBA. But he was like 5'8" or something.
Yeah,
like
there was a
minimal compared to the other players, but he played center. And so your guards and your forwards are the real tall guys, because they're doing the dunks and the blocks on the basket. Whereas your centre needs to be quite nimble, and Alton Bird was just a fantastic athlete. And he competed.
There was a dude.
He was 5'9".
Okay, there was a guy, Muggsy Bogues, that played.
That's not a real name.
Oh yeah, Muggsy Bogues. He played the NBA. He was
It's a show
5'3", and the dude could dunk, you know, and he was just an outlier, you know, like just a special human that had insane vertical jump. Good, you know, because a basketball hoop is 10 foot, so the ball is I think 12 inches in diameter, so you have to get over that to dunk the ball. So,
Yeah. Wow.
you know, there's outliers, but I do think that that's kind of the appeal of soccer, that you can, you know, you could be a little human, you know, like, you know, diminutive, like under, let's say 5'8", or, you know, is maybe a global average for a man, and still play the sport at a high level kind of thing. So I think that's part of the appeal.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
it's interesting. Scott's not made it, and this is probably the most sports ball talk there's ever been on this show combined.
Yeah. While the cat's away, the boys will talk sports ball.
No, I mean, hey, you know what? Let's celebrate it.
It's the most
FIFA
watched
was a
sporting
huge
event in
world
the
event.
world. Let's give it a
Yeah,
couple
I
of
mean,
minutes.
I remember when they, and people in America, USA are kind of retarded. Like when they're like, oh, like, fucking Super Bowl, like #1 sport in the world. And you're like, oh, they had like 300 million people viewed the game. And you're like, a regular match like Manchester versus, Real Madrid drew 700 million people worldwide or something. It was just like a regular match or some shit. So
it's like the World Series. It's not the fucking world. It's America Day.
yeah, I mean, so we're delusional here, and I'm not gonna try to sugarcoat
I
it.
do
or
like,
whatever.
having said all I said, I do like American football as a sport. Played it at school. I like watching it still. I don't stay up for the Super Bowl, but I'll watch a rerun of the Super Bowl. I do like watching the sport, but baseball just a step too far for me.
Okay. Any more good stories?
Let's have a look. We're getting close to that time when Random starts to fall asleep, so we should maybe think about
doing
a couple
more
more
in my office. So I'm slowly melting as well. So there's this one here that was sent in by David Gyrick, Gareth Hamer, and Peter Gibbs. Peter Gibbs wins for his subject title of "I'd Hit That," and this was the news that an ex-Sega engineer created a realistic CRT monitor emulator, which you can fix by tapping the screen, hence the "Hit That." But it's different to, we've seen like shaders that run on top of emulators or on top of a full screen like desktop that give you the curvature and the look and feel of a CRT, but this also includes software-defined radio to actually accept an incoming RF signal from a console and then decode it and apply it to this format, so you get a proper window on a monitor that is accepting the RF signal. It's not just working on emulators and shit. So yeah, pretty cool little project. May well become very much needed in the future.
Yeah, we did have a Madden story, which if we were professional and all that, we would have done while we were talking about the sports ball. But Madden has been
literally what I read.
Oh, did you? Oh, is that how we got on it? Oh,
yeah.
Right. Oh, okay. I'll let you off then.
Yeah.
Oh, no one sent in the one
of
of the blunder from IndyCar where they put a T-shirt out for Indy 500 saying "One Nation, One Race." That was a classic bit of American marketing there.
Oh,
How about
America.
I got this one. Sega is re-releasing the original Sonic Genesis games on cartridge for $100.
Yeah, we did that. Mike was not very impressed.
I wasn't impressed
I think
at
that's
all.
when I ran to the restroom real quick.
Yes, very probably. Anyways,
So we've touched on UK politics and how much of a mess it is. For those who don't know, there's been a bit of a kerfuffle in the area of town called Clacton, and Count Binface is now getting on the verge of his strongest campaign ever of running for as an MP. Part of his demands has been that he will bring back the London Trocadero Sega arcade and also make Shenmue 4.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
he's saying all the right things.
I think unless you guys have anything else, I'd say it's time for UK Mike to read our Craigslist.
Just before I do, there was one more that I just wanted to get through while we're on kind of a UK versus US tip. Article,
let's go.
An article sent in by who was it? It was Gareth Hamer. The NES in the UK. Why there's no nostalgia for Nintendo's first console. I would probably disagree with that premise, but I mean it launched 83, was it? Yeah. And so we were in the height of the computer wars, the Spectrum, the Commodore 64, the Amstrad, the Sharps, all of that kind of stuff. So, we arguably didn't feel the crash, and we were just way more into computers than we were consoles. But certainly, I would not say that there is no love for the NES. Fantastic console, but yes, thank you for that article. Let me just copy and paste it.
I mean,
before we move on. Go on.
Was it pretty regular, or you guys like usually had the Sega
no,
or something? I mean, it just sounds like clickbait nonsense, to be honest.
So most in '83, most people that I know, all my circle of friends, were on computer. A little bit
ZX
later,
Spectrum, Commodore,
Spectrum,
Amstrad,
Commodore,
BBC
Amstrad,
Micro.
BBC. Yeah, we're right in the middle of that computer boom. A little bit. So the next generation was, in my circle, more Amiga, but I would say it was probably very heavily SNES and Mega Drive, with some Amiga thrown in. But the NES, you did see them. I knew people who had them, but it wasn't as huge. But I wouldn't say there's no nostalgia for it.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like you fucks liked Manic Miner and Elite Sensible Soccer better than Mario.
Well, I do, but how many
there was-
English people do you know?
Four.
It was, yeah. I mean, I'd say,
no, actually,
you're
one
going to
of-
say
one of
all
my-
English people like dogging and stuff like that as well. 'cause
Actually,
the
one of
sample size
my one of my good friends,
things,
she's
you
from
know.
like right up on the UK Scotland border. We work together, and I'm always like, those people from Scotland. She's like, fucking trash. Like, it's hilarious. she's a proper UK gal.
You wanted me to finish.
So is it the hobby or is it the culture? I mean,
What do you mean? For the NES
Like,
versus
it was-
computer?
yeah.
A lot of
It
it will come down to price because,
Yeah.
all that 8-bit computing era, a lot of it was driven by English companies. There, in the 80s, early 80s, there was something like over 300 different computer companies in the UK. They made computers you have never heard of and will never see. Lots of them you will, but the main three were obviously the Spectrum, Amstrad, Commodore 64. BBC Micro owners will hate me for that, but that was a more serious machine. That was in schools, and we had availability, access to consoles, but the computer companies were in a price war. So you could pick up a Commodore with a cassette deck, with a joystick, with a bunch of games for less than you could get an NES. So what are people going to do come Christmas?
And the games, like, you
And you
could
could
get a
copy
lot of
them.
cassettes for 99p and from W8. Like,
Yeah.
all the newsagents would
Mastertronic,
stock.
yeah.
stock
Yeah, you could buy
cassettes.
computer games in a newsagent. You'd go in, buy some chewing gum and buy a fucking computer game. It was that easy.
I just feel like in the States, it was more of like the universal childhood experience where, like, the NES maybe didn't define British gaming. Like, Britain was busy defining gaming without it, kind of thing. Like,
Yeah, it
with, like,
definitely didn't.
all these like
define
core
gaming.
studios and like games and like computers and shit like that, right?
The next generation, I think Nintendo did much better. The SNES, the Mega Drive. We were much bigger on consoles in the next generation, and we certainly had a lot of Amiga, but the consoles have certainly caught up by the 16-bit era.
Cool.
Okay, time to finish.
Craigslist.
But probably literally finish. This one, we've got a choice of three. We've no George Lutz, Amityville.
No, we got to do
fame,
all three.
George Lutz. No, we'll do one. We'll save one.
come on.
Let's do.
Two.
Okay, we'll do two. We'll do no
Yes.
iPhones first. Oh, I can't get to it. It's an image.
Oh.
Wait a minute. It's okay. I've got the image. Bear with.
Wait, he's
This-
like, wait.
This
I
is
sent
what happens
in.
when your site gets DDoSed. Where is it? It's on there. It's in documents, websites. Bear with. Images. News. 2026. Craigslist. Okay. Open with. Let's open it with that. All right then. First one. Craigslist. No iPhones. This is $1,400. 25-year-old professional male looking for a room. No iPhones. Hello. I'm moving to New York City at the end of August, and I'm looking to sign a 1-year lease somewhere in Manhattan. The more happening in the area, the better. Other than budget, in brackets, parentheses to you, $1,400 or less. I have two major criteria. 1, no iPhone users. I refuse to live with anyone that has sold their immortal soul to Steve Jobs. I don't care about your app that tells you when you need to water your plants. I don't care that your phone can function as a speak and spell. I don't care that your phone has a million exciting features that exist elsewhere. No iPhones. Oh, and probably no iPads either. Upon meeting, you must show me your phone. No scammers. I will be calling it in person to confirm that it is indeed your phone. 2. StarCraft 2 experience is a big plus. If you play, please post a link to your Battle.net profile. The more experience, the better. No bronze leaguers. Looking forward to hearing from you. I would love to answer an ad like that.
Does it say where in New York City?
Manhattan.
Manhattan.
Yeah.
Kind of weird.
We'll do one more. And then we're out of here. We'll do Red Coat Girl. Red Coat Girl.
The other one seems so much better.
Okay. It's been a while since I read them. I sent them all in when I didn't do news, and you read some of them.
How do you find these? Like, are you just like looking at Craigslist? And
So originally, yeah, or people will have sent them in, and I archive them as images. And every so often, well, at the end of news every month, we do a Craigslist ad of the month, and then we kind of slipped off doing that. And maybe we didn't get any more, or Craigslist went away, or whatever it may have been. And then George Lutz started sending his dirty ones in, and then I was going through. So during the move to Linux and all of that, I was going through a load of files and folders and stuff, and I came across these, so I sent them all in one go. All right. To the guy doing my wife at my house.
yeah.
To the guy doing my wife. And I'm sure we've read this years ago on the show, but here we go again for shits and giggles.
Many times.
To the guy doing my wife. You know who you are. Yes, I know. No, I'm not angry. I would just ask a few things of you. After all, you were giving it to my wife. Number 1, please stop leaving the seat up. I keep getting blamed and it's starting to get old. Number 2, you may not be giving me a chance to go fishing. No, you may be giving me a chance to go fishing more often, but please stop drinking all my beer. It's fine if you have a couple while you visit. God knows I drink plenty before I find her attractive, but please leave me a few beers as I have to be there longer than you. Number 3, if you do drink the last one, buy more or leave money on the counter. I'll pick some up. Number 4, please replace the toilet paper when you use it all. For some reason, my 5-year-old son believes if it's not there, he doesn't have to wipe. We keep it under the sink, unless you can recommend a better spot. Number 5. After doing my wife, please use something disposable to wipe off with. The basket of clothes on the right is mine, and the clothes are clean as my wife does not do my washing. I run out of time rushing to work. Last week my sweatshirt was crusty. Thanks.
It has to be from the UK, man. Nobody says basket washing.
Number 6. Please do not tell my children that you are their uncle. They are young, not mentally challenged. Number 7. Please stop turning the heat up. You pay nothing, and MUD is putting it in my ass. My wife may like it, but I think it hurts. Number 8. When she asks, do these pants make me look fat? Say no. You may think giving a different answer will make her think twice about eating a gallon of ice cream a day, but all you're doing is giving her a reason to buy more pants that she will look just as fat in. Number 9. Stop eating the baked goods. The brownies you ate were from my mum for my birthday. My wife has not cooked anything that good for years, and if she does, she will not share. Number 10. Try shifting your weight when you sit on my chair. The recliner that I rarely have time for in parentheses, soccer games and practice, basketball camp for the kids takes much of my time, and I try to help with the schoolwork too. It has a groove in it, and that forces me to roll to the left. Lastly, I would like to thank you for taking her to lunch on Valentine's Day. She was not as hungry as usual and only ordered one meal. I may be able to use the money I saved to take the children to a movie. I hope you can help me with these items. It may become awkward if I have to confront her. If you can do this for me, I will give you a heads up on when I will be gone and for how long so that you don't have to feel rushed. P.S. I'm going to take the kids to the Sunset State Beach camping on the 26th of September for 2 days. I have a bottle of vodka above the fridge if you find yourself low on beer. Thanks. This was not written by anyone named blah, blah, blah. That's from San Jose.
No.
Woo! Yeah.
It was definitely somebody from the UK. the
Why?
way it was
Because they
written.
said basket.
And
Was
mum.
it the laundry basket?
The laundry.
And mum.
Did he say mum or mum?
You said mum.
That may be how I read it.
That might have just been dynamic translation.
Yeah, probably. The basket of clothes on the right is mine, and the clothes are clean.
Basket.
As my wife does not do my washing. Really? Could be a British guy living in the US.
Nah. I call bullshit. But you know what? Tonight we covered some
Oh,
really...
no, it did say mom. The brownies you ate were from my mum. So it did say mum. Maybe I
M-U-M?
just read mum. M-O-M.
Oh, mom.
Mom. Mom!
Get it right, fucker-tard. Okay, well, you know, tonight we covered some bad decisions, questionable opinions.
Maybe even
and
made
at least,
some.
one of these arguments probably drove somebody fucking insane, like Scott or Simon. So we probably did our job. And thanks for hanging out with us, you know. And my advice is go support your local gaming shop. Dig through the bins that smell like cat piss and carpet. You know, play something old that still makes you feel young or mad. And remember that digital may be convenient, but physical is the culture. So keep buying
boy.
physical and fuck these people that want to turn it into digital only. That's what I have to say.
Amen to that. We had a few people in chat tonight, a few people chatting. I tried to keep up with it, but I had to paste the news twice and upload it to a site so Sparkle could see what we'd done and what we hadn't. You need to fix your shit, brah.
What?
Yeah. You can't get on websites. You can't get on the mail, and you couldn't get on Pixel.
Yeah, I think it has
Well,
something to do with my my Brave shit.
Mm.
Brave browser.
You got it too strict. So, yes, thank you. Spinal showed up only 20 minutes late. It's normally 2 hours late. So, yeah, we had a few people jump in there tonight. A few more than usual as well. So, thank you for that. Hans is there again. We've got Black ZC. We had Gareth Hamer. We had Spinal. We had Dave Lanky as well. Woo, well done, Dave. And I hope I'm missing a few. Stone Cold Alan was there. Smarty Martin was there as well. So thank you for joining. If you stayed all night, well done. If you didn't and you got angry at the football talk, well, that's on you, not us.
Well, and you
Don't
get to
watch
relive
people
it when
live
you-
on the internet.
Well, you can relive it by listening to the show.
Yeah. So, yes, thank you for listening. We will be back again with some more inane bullshit next month. Hopefully, we will try and get all 4 of us together. So, we haven't forgotten. We are supposed to do an updated discussion on what's retro and what systems we cover in the top 10s. And we are supposed to do a discussion on the end of physical media and what that means for us and everybody else. So trying to get 4 people together at the moment is like herding cats. I take 25% of the responsibility for that. But we will try, we will endeavour, and hopefully deliver at some point very soon. So, that said, thank you and good night. Say good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.